Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's stream. Today we have Brad with us, which is IT Goatee. Hi, Brad. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm doing
Um,
fantastic.
so it was funny because somebody in my Discord was like, "So I know Brad is the IT guy, but what is the lore here?" So I think that's what we're going to go over today. I had talked to
Mm.
you a little bit in the DMs yesterday and was like, "All right, I'm just going to need to know all of it." So for anybody who doesn't know, Brad is technically the unofficial IT guy of official JFC.
Yeah,
And you got sucked up in this Laura Owens case, right? Or
right.
kind of. When did this all start for you?
So this started for me probably the end of December of 23 into the beginning of 24 when Megan Fox was being harassed by her chat to try and join Dave Neal because everyone's like, you got to hear about this case, this crazy thing about this woman claiming pregnancy. So then Megan had Dave on, and because I was already friends with Megan at the time, it just kind of merged at the right moment.
Okay. And then were you invested in the case, or was it just more following like what Megan was doing?
In the very beginning, it was just following what Megan was doing, but once you hear the salaciousness of what was going
Mhm.
on, you get immediately pulled in. Like,
Right.
there's as soon as you tell this story to someone, there's no way they're not like, "Wait, what just happened?"
Yeah, I've noticed too, it doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter the sex, it doesn't matter anything, like, anybody you tell this story to, there's always a want for more, and then
Mhm.
even when you get more, there's a want for more. You just there's so many layers to the onion.
Right.
So you obviously, you're an IT guy, right? That's your
Mhm.
specialty,
Yep.
and is that what you do for a profession?
It's what I do for a profession.
So explain to us, well, explain to me, right? What
Mhm.
is metadata and why is it so important when it comes to like cases or criminal trials or things? Because we hear about it all the time when they're going through like Snapchats or pictures or Instagram. Like they always go back to the metadata, and like
Mhm.
that's the most important piece.
Right. So metadata as a concept is your data about your data. So if you take a picture on your iPhone, excuse me, and you're at Disney World, your phone will save, "Hey, you were at Disney World when you took this photo, and you took it at this time. You took it at with this model iPhone, with this aperture setting, this focal length. Your screen size was this much. The megapixels of the picture is this much, and all of that gets saved into an area within the photo, and that becomes really critical information forensically because you can validate who took that photo, where was that photo taken, if that photo was edited. Sometimes the original metadata will be there, but then you'll also see like an edited date and timestamp.
That was going to be my next question is would you through the metadata would you be able to tell if a photo was altered?
Yeah, so there's a couple of key things that we were able to do, and we can pull up the Padlet and go into where they found some of the Mike Maricini stuff, and
Mhm.
because some of those screenshots are saved into there.
Okay. So is that something like let's say I have my phone right now. Is that something
Yep.
that I can pick up on my phone?
Yeah.
So okay, so today I just took a picture. I have a picture of a caterpillar. And
Mhm.
also this guy's amazing cut from the UFC because it's a bowl on the top and a mullet in the back. But that
That's
was a
a little
screenshot.
different.
But okay, so I took this picture of a caterpillar.
Yep.
Okay, how would I find that on my phone?
So, what you will see is a little bit different than what a tool will see. But if you click the eye in the
Okay.
bottom, it'll tell you at a bare minimum, and it'll say, "Okay, my iPhone took this," and I can show this photo because I'm not worried about it. But this
Yep.
was when we went to the Jericho cruise, me and my wife, and you
You
can
just made
see
the list.
I just made the list with Chris Jericho. So you can see we took it October 22nd, 4:36 p.m. in the middle of North Atlantic
Mhm.
with my iPhone 12 using those particular camera informations.
See, mine has that too. Also, too, I find it interesting because it says look up black swallowtail, so it knows what the bug is. Mine
Mhm.
doesn't have the location, but it does have the time, the exact time and date, um, which is interesting. So when they're breaking this down in a case, it's really that's what they're looking at is that exact timestamp.
Those kinds of information.
Okay. So I have a couple of questions pulled over. Ask Brad about the metadata in the photo that Laura used in her TED talk. I heard that he found it that she altered it. So if you don't know, she put out this TED talk about Michael Maricini where she used a picture that was in a batch that she had sent to Michael Maricini. So she
Mhm.
used a picture claiming that Michael Maricini had abused her. But then when you look at that batch of photos, it was from the same batch that she had used to tell Michael Maricini that she was sick and in the hospital
Right.
at that same point in time. So, yeah, tell us that story.
So, in reviewing a number of photos from Mike's laptop dump, I was able to determine that there's a photo in there because she didn't send him that photo, but there's a photo of her in the exact same position, where
Hmm.
with the same tag. And I was on with Lauren when we were looking at this, because the lot number and all of that information is sewn into the gowns that you're wearing when you're in the ER. So we were able to look, and you can see the way that her hair is splayed out, the ridges. So, like right now, I've got this crease in my shirt. That
Hmm.
crease in that photo is the exact same. So we were able to see the name of that, or the name of the image, because iPhone, when they take their images, um, they actually save it as like IMG underscore and then an
Yeah.
incrementing number set.
Yeah.
If you've ever looked at your photos on like a Windows computer or on a Mac, pulled from there, they're all just IMG underscore with an incrementing counter.
Yeah, so this one, the one of the caterpillar is
Yep.
IMG underscore 2489.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that number just increases. And I don't remember how, but we managed to get the metadata of the photo that she took, for that she claimed was from that batch. Like,
Okay.
and she had posted it, and she's like, "This photo is from March. There's no way that this is." But you look at the number, and it said IMG 609, and it was 2 digits off from the one that was in the dump.
Interesting. Now, did you get the original, like the original files from the actual dump?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't realize that you received those.
I I was given to them to look into it,
Okay.
but I
So
wasn't the original person who received them. It goes to Mike and his attorney at
right,
the
right, right.
time.
And I think what a lot of people don't understand, especially about Michael Maricini's portion of this case, which helped
Mhm.
Clayton and go on to, then get the second indictment for Greg, is that a lot of this not only was like crowdsourced, but it was people like yourself putting it together. It was you with the metadata. It was Laura. I'm sorry, Megan and Dave who had found the
Yep.
Fiverr thing. So if I were to um if I were to get something dumped, right, and I
Mhm.
were to send it to you, you
Mhm.
don't have to give away your prices, but competitively, if I were to be conducting a case and I wanted to get pictures, you become my expert. What does that cost somebody?
So the expert that we hired in California was $3,500 just to dump it, and then write up the initial report that said, "I dumped this at this time using this software, everything that you would need to be able to present that file and anything within it as evidence." Then it really goes to um, either finding, because the forensic examiner, he just says, "I did this at this time using these tools and methods which are known to be accurate of this particular time."
Mhm.
Then looking at things deeper, you could have a paralegal go and find different things. All the examiner is doing is proving that the records are true and accurate copies.
Okay.
you don't necessarily need them to go and look at metadata and things like that.
Okay.
They can, but they're going to charge you for it, and
Right.
it's likely going to be in the neighborhood of lawyers' fees because
Okay. So we're looking at like hundreds of dollars an
hundreds
hour.
of dollars an hour.
Okay. Because that's the thing too, is like, when they had said that they crowdfunded for Michael Maricini's laptop to get forensically downloaded, and dumped. Um, it was after that that everybody started to go through it piece by piece. And I mean, the money that it would have cost Mike without the community, without JFC coming together, would have
Mhm.
been astronomical on that.
Yeah, it would have been just huge.
Do you do forensic stuff? Like, have you ever done anything with a court or anything like that?
I haven't done anything with a court. I did take a ethical hacking course, which goes into very broad strokes about various different areas within forensics and things of the like. So I'm in my day to day. I know about metadata and things like that, and I could just use those tools and base understanding to try and find tools to help doing what we needed to do at the time.
Okay. The other question is, what other evidence did Brad evaluate, i.e., the fake pregnancy belly photos? I have a question about the videos.
Yep.
So, are the videos altered in any way?
Videos are a little bit harder.
Okay.
So with pictures, you can upload a picture and look for disturbances because of the way that JPEG creates the image. You can find very obvious things that are hidden and that were like wiped away
Okay.
or inserted, and you don't you know that they're not supposed to be there. But videos is really hard for most people. So that's why I think when we got the officer's report when they dumped her phone, just so show that they know that they're false videos, is likely because they found the originals that she made and then altered. And then you could say, well, this is the one that you sent to Clayton, but this from your phone says that it's the regular one.
Okay. So it's not, you're not looking for the same pieces as you would on like a photo.
I mean, everyone growing up in today's age and looking for deep fakes, you have the same mental acuity that everyone else does. You're looking for things that you know aren't supposed to be there. And when a lot of people were reviewing the pictures for that Laura was sending around, they were looking at obscure things, like looking at the door frame
Right.
that's there that's like slanted, but the other one is perfectly straight, and you're trying to figure out, well, why is that case? Is it because cameras tend to have fisheye views, and
Mhm.
as if you're looking at one, the door frame might look to bend just a little bit more because it's at a different spot in your eye than where the closer one is? Or is it because she bulged a certain area, so you see this odd bend in everywhere else around the frame, because when she did that, it affected things that she didn't want to be affected.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest questions with the videos is they wanna know if she altered them or not, or if it was everybody calls it a gluten intolerance, but they wanna
Yeah.
know if there was some sort of photoshopping that was happening inside of that, like, inside of that video. And I guess that's, you know, that would be for somebody in, the prosecution's team to be able to sit down and look at that, right?
And
Like, that's possible?
they'd be able to go in and it's, if you don't have originals, it becomes incredibly harder, because then you have to go to the more advanced stages of trying to find, did this get edited? Video editing is fairly common. Everyone largely edits a video at some point in stage, whether you trim one to go down and then you could either save that as the same file, or um, save it as a copy. But when you're going deep into trying to scrub a video or remove particular things, that new generated video does have its own metadata that could say, well, you took this video phone metadata on it, but then as soon as you go and put it into Adobe After Effects or DaVinci Resolve and
Mhm.
then run a full compile on it, well, then DaVinci adds its layer on top of it. So you might have some iPhone metadata, but then you might have, well, this was edited by DaVinci at this particular date and time.
Is there any way to be able to alter those things? Not that I
Yes,
think she's some sort of mastermind, but can you like, if I was getting looked at by a court, could I alter my metadata?
sure. Everyone, you can scrub metadata. You can do all kinds of things with photos specifically. In
Is
order
this
for
information we should be giving out, Brad?
Well, it's things that we've already found and have discussed, but you can actually edit the date and time of photos in your photo library.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
which is why we believe that she altered the date for the one that she said that was taken in March or whatever.
I'm gonna need to see if I like how easy this is to do because I am
It's
not
shockingly easy when you know where it is.
okay. I'm sure I could find like if I went online to do it. Now if I alter a photo, right, and you're an
Mhm.
IT guy, I think that I've outsmarted you. Is there a way for you to go and get the original?
It's possible. So could say photo originally taken at this date and time, but then it could say what the current date and time modified is.
Okay, I see. What was Brad's role in San Francisco at Mike's DVRO case?
Well, I was Binder Brad, as affectionately called by a bunch of other people, the shoulder of justice. In
Yeah, what tell me the lore on these two things because we were doing jugs for justice and then they were
Yeah,
like we need the shoulder and you showed up and I'm fairly new to this. I'm about
yeah.
6 months in maybe.
Mhm.
So I need to know.
So in when Mike's case on day two, because it was we went day one, they said come back in 24 hours. You need to get here to Laura, and she didn't show up. Day two, we were like, fuck, now we gotta come back to in 2 weeks to do it all over again. And so we did another fundraising stream to be able to try and get Mike some more money for the expenses of having to bring Omar back out, get Rachel Juarez out, do
Mhm.
all of these things in order to try and get to redo everything that we had just done over the past 48 hours. And when we were doing that fundraising stream in Megan's hotel room, we were doing all these different goals, and there was a joke because Megan was streaming the past couple of days about showing shoulders and whatnot, and how they were being, extremely uh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Provocative by showing shoulders.
What?
So then I said, well, if we get to $3,000, I'll start showing some shoulder.
Hell
And
yeah.
we got to it. So then I went into their room, found a towel, and wrapped it around myself so that my one shoulder was showing. And that's how the shoulder of justice came about.
The shoulder of justice. I am really sad that I missed all of this. Like, I really wish that I was able to be there in real time. I
Right.
wouldn't even care about going. I told Megan, I was like, because my my father-in-law has a house in Phoenix, and I'm like right in Maricopa County, and I'm like, listen, if this goes to trial, like I don't even want to go to the trial. I just want to go and meet all you guys. Like that's
Right.
that's
That
all I
was so
care about.
fun.
Um, what is it like for you now to be like a staple in this, especially if it goes to trial and like you're like, yeah, I was a part of this thing and to
I
see it all
I
the way through?
I think it would be really cool, but there's also um a ton of people did a whole bunch more work. And I think that's the thing is it's it's cool to be recognized, but I think it's better to see that the community coming together and doing all of the individual pieces to help make it where it is what the better story is.
Well, and that's the thing. I talk about that with my chat all the time. Like I feel so lucky because and I've actually gone from long form into live streaming more because it's like a It's a giant brain with all of these different pieces and all of these different walks of life and professions, and there's all these different little buckets that you could grab from, and it is a really wonderful community.
Mhm. Eh,
Um oh, sorry, go ahead.
well, I say, and Gingras can try and make all these different claims about JFC, but the idea is he sees it from one particular angle. But when you think of it as a gentleman who's been maligned by this woman in all these different magazines and newspapers, saying that he's, a deadbeat dad because he's not supporting this woman who's claiming to be pregnant,
Mhm.
and then realize the steps that she took to try and continue this con and go further and further and further. And even to this day, there are that she still digs her heels in to try and claim to say that she was pregnant by the bachelor is
Mhm.
just wild.
So, also, first of all, can I show this picture?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. I like it a lot. Screen share. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Everybody watch out.
Ah, my shoulders.
I also downloaded her final script for her TED Talk, which is horrendous. But everybody say hi to the shoulder of justice.
Right.
Why is that not on a mug?
Because I'm bad at selling.
Do you think she's going to trial?
I think there's we don't know what kind of plea has been offered. There's been things that Clayton has said about possibility being like next to no true like um penalty for what she's done. If she gets 4 months probation or whatever, and she gets 80% of the charges dropped, but she has to try and she has to make a statement and says, "Oh, well, I did do this and all this stuff." You almost know for sure that she's not actually going to believe it. She's gonna be, in trial. What they actually do when you allocute is you have to go through and say, "Did you do this? Did you do this? Yes, I did
Mhm.
this. Are you saying this of your own volition and you're not because yes, I'm saying this on my own. I'm not being forced to say this, but." You know for certain that if she does take that plea deal, she's not going to do it with the full intent behind it. She's only going to do it because her attorney managed to finally talk some sense into her
It's
to
self-preservation.
preserve herself. Yes,
Yeah.
because if this goes to trial, then because that's one of the things that I'm thinking in the back of my head is that the parents' bankruptcy and her, the reason they're not paying their mortgage is because they're paying her attorney's fees. There's almost no question to that. They're taking $15,000 a month to pay this attorney to try and keep her out of jail.
I just don't understand though, especially when you file for bankruptcy, when they start looking at bank accounts. How do you not see that? How do you
Yeah.
not find that? I mean, I get because they didn't, there were a lot of papers and documents that they left out, but like how we don't carry money in a way like we used to, right?
Oh, yeah.
So any check, any credit card, anything that you move is going to be seen.
Mhm.
So how do they get away with not showing anybody that they are paying for that attorney?
I I think it's just a matter of it hasn't come up yet, and it's going to, especially with the, now that they're going into chapter 11, because in the chapter 13, they really didn't go too deep into it. It was basically just stringing it along until they said, "Well, you stopped doing what you agreed that you were going to do, and now it's gonna, um, now we're closing it because you're unsatisfactorily meeting the terms of the chapter 13." Now coming into the chapter 11, they're going to have to go through this another meeting of creditors. They're going to have to go through all of this interview. They're going to have to go through all of these steps again. And I think everyone keeps calling her Queen Jennifer.
Mhm.
She's got her teeth into it, and
Yeah.
she's going to want to know what's going on, because there's nothing wrong about parents paying for their daughter's attorney. The problem is that the daughter hasn't disclosed it in her own bankruptcy. Now that has now been dropped. or mutually agreed to be dropped. Then there's the parents who didn't disclose that, one, they're paying their daughter all of her expenses, and then didn't disclose, well, they have almost $150,000 of money from a GoFundMe that nobody knows what it went to,
Right.
but we believe that it was used as a large upfront for Christian looters.
Which actually doesn't that go against GoFundMe's terms of service? Is you're not allowed to use GoFundMe's for like criminal what is it? There's
Yeah,
something in there.
for like violent criminal offenses, you can't use it.
Oh, well, hers isn't
Hers
violent.
isn't violent,
I mean,
but even for criminal defenses, in theory, it shouldn't be doing that. But when you state that it's the if you read what the GoFundMe was originally intended for, it said, well, we've had growing medical bills and this, that, and the other thing. But they didn't list, my daughter's being charged criminally and she needs an attorney.
GoFundMe expressly prohibits campaigns raising money for legal defense of alleged violent, hateful, sexual, or financial crimes. The platform also cracks down on fraudulent or misleading fundraisers and can pursue legal action against organizers who steal or misuse donor money. I struggle with that because I think if you're being charged, right? She's got 14 felony counts against her. Why should you be able to crowdsource money to help you get out of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's really, and it's the same kind of thing with the TEDx thing. No matter how many times you complain to them, if they're not actually willing to listen, then it's falling on deaf ears.
Yeah. I it's interesting to me that between the chapter 11 and the chapter 13, they decided to say that somehow their income is less and they just have no way of proving that. And they're like,
Yep.
we just don't know why we're making less money when you're both on a fixed income and neither
Yeah.
one of you are working. I mean, obviously, I think the group consensus is just so they don't have to get out of their house.
Yeah.
If they do all of that and it puts a stay on their house, they don't have to leave.
There's that, and then because everyone talks about, okay, they're forced to sell the house. What happens next? Well, all the horses that are there have to go somewhere. So that's one thing. They think that they're a retirement home for horses on like less than an acre's land. And then they have to move. Their other daughter lives in the San Diego-ish area, I think. That's the
Okay.
last that I heard, is that they're in Southern California. And then they have a couple of ties to New Mexico from Jan's mother's estate, but otherwise, their home is in San Francisco. But San Francisco, outside of the complete exodus that they've been going for the past decade, is still pretty expensive in the long term because of the state. So they really don't want to have to try and buy a house on a row for Ron's condition. So they really need to find like a condo in Arizona that they could afford for $3,000-$4,000 easily, and then use the rest of the money to survive.
Okay.
Not a $15,000 mortgage in addition to the other expenses that they have.
Yeah, that's and two, even when you look at that, I mean, you have a $15,000 mortgage and you're only making 21,000 a month. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why? Why? So that, and also too, like from a mom perspective, if I'm paying $15,000 a month so that you can live in the casita for free and that's how you're keeping it,
Yep.
get out of here. They cannot afford that house. Look at, I can hear Tiff. I can hear you screaming from your home right now through my headphones.
Yep.
In your opinion, who is the superior hacker? Is it you or Greg?
I don't know. For all the claims that Laura's made about Greg hacking literally everything in her life, I find it very hard to believe that he did any of that. So I would kind of have to toot my own horn and say I might be the better hacker.
Well, I also think it's, people don't understand like hacking isn't like click clack on the keyboard like you
Yeah.
see in the movies. Like it's nothing like that.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. As much as everyone likes to believe that's what it is, um, even in when you're learning to do some of these defensive trainings, or if you actually go into offensive security professionaling, the what they frequently tell is like 80% of hacking is the reconnaissance. It's not the actual doing of the work. It's knowing your target, understanding your target, and figuring out things that you can use and then exploit. Because you can't just exploit something without knowing what you're exploiting.
You have to have a specific target to go find.
Right.
Okay. You're
And
gonna have to
you have
say
to
this a
understand.
lot dumber for me, Brad.
Oh, sorry. The
But it's like hunting essentially, right?
but it's like a PI. You say, "Hey, I need you to go track this person." And they go, "Okay, what do you know about them?" Well, they currently have a job at here. They live here. They so then that gives them a frame of reference so that they understand. Then the PI can start trailing them and figure out, okay, this guy likes to go to Dunkin' Donuts every morning because he wants to get his large caramel whatever and a donut, and then he goes to work. Then when he's done at work, he has to actually, I know of a charity that tries to take in horses from kill pen or kill.
Shelters.
Yeah, actually, I took Tiff there at the what was that, beginning of May, so we got to go hang out and do that. But the so yeah, there's a number of organizations throughout the country that try and do that. The one that we go to is run by some vegans, and so they take it from that kind of
Yeah.
angle.
Yeah.
Is that no animal deserves to die, and they should be able to live out their lives in um, comfort on this farm. So they that's what they did, is they have this farm. It's a nonprofit. They raise money for it monthly. They do fundraisers and whatnot to support the farm so that these horses and goats and cows and everything else are well taken care of. And then a couple times a month, the public can come onto the property and interact with the horses and whatnot.
Aw, that's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
great,
I'm gonna have to hook up with all these Midwestern people.
right?
I gotta figure this out. You guys are all in my neighborhood, on my hit list. We gotta go to lunch.
What's even funnier is that when Megan goes home to Chicago, she basically drives 30 minutes away from my house.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay. We're all getting together. We're doing this. We're gonna talk about it off stream, and then we're all gonna go grab a drink. I had a question for you, and it was she freaked out. In the obviously, I'm sure you've seen the body cam footage.
Like 20 times over, yes.
You're like, that's what I go to sleep to. What do you think we can expect? Like, okay, we're going to trial. We see all the evidence, right? What do you think we can expect from the seize of her mother's phone?
The mother's phone was not seized. So, to our knowledge, unless she voluntarily provided it to the police department, it was not under the warrant.
It was just held. They just
It
took
was
it away.
Yeah, they said
Okay.
basically they take all the devices so that they can ensure that, okay, this one's Laura's, this one's valid for the warrant, and then they give back the others.
Okay. Do you
Now, I haven't seen the warrant, but according to the cops, they said that her mother's phone was not a part of the warrant. They just set it aside because they don't want people trying to delete evidence or possibly alerting Laura to start deleting evidence.
okay.
And
Do you believe that it was her or that it was Jan on Jan's phone? or Ron's phone? Like when they're sending out messages. And I know I talked to Mike and he's like, I talked to Ron and, it was sometimes Ron. But I guess what I'm asking is like, what percentage do you think was Jan and what percentage do you think was low?
I think it was low all of the time, and low being able to have quick and easy access to her parents' phone means that she could literally send anything that she wants as whoever.
Okay.
And but I that doesn't mean that she's not talking to her parents and possibly discussing any of these things, because even as Jan said, her Jan and Laura go out for lunches constantly, is what has been reported. Frequent trips to a particular Mexican restaurant, and there's been people who have been getting information about them going there. Then obviously Barry's. Jan frequently attends Barry's with Laura as mutual support, just hanging out. Like that's what they do. So
Okay.
I find it hard to believe that Laura can do this entire thing over 10 years and not have her parents involved in it whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know if you're a parent, but I am. I have
Yeah,
2
I,
kids.
I I've got one
Are Is it a boy or a girl?
boy.
Okay. I think that's very different, right? I have both a boy and a girl, and I just look at Ron and like yeah, I go back to when, Mike was in the elevator with him and he's like, "Hey man, just chill until we can." I'd be like, "Get out of here. Leave.
Yeah.
I'll deal with this." And I know you're married. How many dates did it take you to ask for your wife's password?
Yeah, it's wild that it's like not just like 2 dates, because even the reporting on how many dates they've actually went on, it was like 1 true date, and then it seemed like 2 booty calls,
Right.
because so it's like after the first booty call, you're like, "Here, have my
Well,
everything."
that's the other thing. She's like, "He asked for my passwords." No is a full sentence.
Yeah.
No, you could have just said no. Like, good lord.
It's your
Um,
responsibility to protect your own passwords, and the even funnier thing is, like, you can go on my patient portal and see all my pregnancy test is right there. It's like, lady, like, you realize that when you do that, you're surrendering any HIPAA protections that you have,
right.
because like
Speaking of patient portals, I'm still waiting on my birthday gift from Jack. He said it was in his patient portal and I could go get it. I feel I have been bamboozled.
Jack, could you?
Still waiting on that gift. So, the other thing that's come up in this elaborate story, hypothetically speaking, have you ever been on the dark web?
I have been on the dark web.
What's on there?
You don't want to know.
Can I just get on there? Like, could I just like go online and just be like Google darkweb.com? Like, how does
Not
one get to the dark web?
I don't want to be the one to try and lead people to the dark web. The dark web is known as the dark web because it's shady, not because it's hard to get to. Um,
So then why
so
don't they just like shut it down?
because the dark web exists in an area of the internet that is very difficult to take down, because the difference between the dark web and the regular web is just the path that it's taken to get there.
Plead the
So
fifth, Brad. Plead the fifth. Well, is it illegal to be on the
no,
dark web?
it's not illegal to be on the dark web. It's so think of it this way.
Please
Anyone can
don't
go to
grow.
a website. Anyone can go to a website anywhere else. By virtue of visiting a website, um, let's take CP for example.
Okay.
If I'm going to a website that I know hosts CP, for the express purposes of viewing it, and it's not like, oh, I don't know what this URL is. I click it, see it, close it down, then that's an unintentional viewing. But if I'm going to this website daily because I
Okay.
need to go and see this, then you know what's there. you
You're going
know you're
specifically
going
for
there
that.
with the intent of going there.
Yeah.
And so that's where it becomes a larger issue. Like if I go Silk Road was the big thing. I can't remember the guy's name, but
What
this
is
guy,
that?
the Silk Road was a website where you could literally buy and sell anything. And it became frequently known for buying and selling drugs. You could try and order a hit on someone. Like you could do all of these different things.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
It's taken down
Mhm.
now. It's been gone for a while, but
Mhm.
the idea is um, this website existed there. If I go to the Silk Road, I'm not doing anything illicit by visiting the website. But if I post a hit and say, oh, I want to go get rid of Bruce because Omar can't keep Bruce and my name straight, then that becomes a problem.
uh, Dead Pirate something? Or Dread Pirate
Dread
something.
Pirate Roberts, yeah, it was his moniker.
And that was the thing,
He
right?
got pardoned. I can't remember his name, but a lot of libertarians, Ross Ulbricht, that was his name.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
But I think it's so funny that she tells this story, right? And she's like, and then they streamed it on the dark web. But how does she know they streamed it on? Does she have it? Did she see it?
Yeah, I don't even think I've heard of this idea of people viewing something on the dark web.
Like live streaming an assault?
Yeah, like if you're going to live stream something, you're going to live stream it on the easiest platform that you can get to, not the dark web.
Yeah.
Because like even jihadis would like publish to Facebook Live, and then Facebook would be like, oh, what was it? The
Like executions?
like executions, but there was also the guy that went into oh, what are those islands off the, I can't think of it now. New Zealand. Christchurch was the one. The Christchurch killings. He the person who did the attack on Christchurch, like a church, and he live streamed it to Facebook and everyone
Oh,
could see it.
right. Yes.
There was nothing stopping them from doing that until it became like worldwide news that this
Right.
happened, and then they take it down. But the people who had it could download it, save it, and then publish it to the dark web so that it could be much more difficult to try and take down. But you don't just like open up your phone and like, I'm going to the dark web, look at me, I'm streaming. And
Not even if you're in Hoboken.
yeah, not even if you're in Hoboken.
It was just such a wild, like, I mean, to claim the assault is one thing, but the extra step, the extra little spice of streaming it on the dark web might have been one of my favorite things. I'm like, that would have never even, I mean, the lies, they never even come to my mind. What do you think we can expect to see through evidence?
So I think the initial reports that we got from the first 7 charges are the best evidence of what the evidence is going to be. They have, because that was all Clayton charges.
Okay.
In because they originally did the first set of charges May 5th, then they came out with the additional grade counts of the additional 7 later. And as part of the FOIA for the additional, or for the first ones, that report is usually not released. But because those charges got folded into a superseding indictment, that report actually could be released because it's a part of a closed case.
Okay.
And so when you review those, the witness statements and the initial evidence that they were able to get, you're going to see a lot of information about what, from my eyes, they've got her phones. I don't know if they took the iMac that was in the parents' house. but it's almost all going to be digital evidence because they're going to have to serve um, warrants on Google to be able to get anything and everything from her Gmail account.
Okay.
And then I think that's going to be some of the most damning things already. It's going to be um, all of the times that Laura has said, I didn't send that. And then Gmail can say, well, you logged in at this time from this IP address that you frequently use because your home IP address really doesn't change all that often. It serves no purpose to have it constantly resetting. And it actually is a benefit for federal investigators because if it doesn't change often, that means that when you use it for 3 years, then all of the external traffic that you have going into Google should say the same IP address that you're using it outside of a mobile phone and things like that when you're out and about.
Obviously, like, there's people out there who I never delete anything. I'm also not criming, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But people think that if they delete things, and one of the things that I want to know about is like all these letters that she fabricated and sent as different doctors and
Mhm.
different things. She wipes her computer, right? Or for what she thinks is a wipe of her computer.
Yep.
Does that information truly get deleted?
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no.
Okay.
So what comes down to is how was it deleted? Is
Is it
it
a like a hard reset?
is it like I went and I said move to my recycle bin? Or is it more like I right clicked it, said delete, went to my recycle bin, delete? So what that generally does is it deletes a pointer, which is just a small piece of information that says where this information resides on your hard drive. And then it just deletes the pointer. So it's like, well, it's gone now. But that data is still on the disk. So 9 times out of 10, when you straight up delete something, it doesn't actually delete the file. It just deletes the reference pointing to the file. And until the that set of blocks gets overwritten, you could try and scan the drive itself to find headers and footers of what it believes to be files, and then get them all recompiled and then look at it.
And even okay, so I manufacture a Sutter Health
Mhm.
whatever, this thing,
Letter.
and then I send it to you and then
Mhm.
I delete it.
Yep.
They can eventually go back in my computer and find that whole thing and see it.
Provided it hasn't been overwritten, yes.
What would overwrite it?
So generally it would be you would have to just start downloading or generating data to fill your hard drive and forcefully overwrite that block.
I see. So you essentially have to run out of space.
You basically have to run out of space
Okay.
because it's going to take free space that's available known, and then it's going to take once it goes through the free space that it knows is available, it could it'd say, well, this particular block is free because there's no pointer to it, but there's other data there, and it will start writing there.
Okay.
Uh, and folks asking about BleachBit. BleachBit, basically, what BleachBit is doing is it sees the file and then it forcefully overwrites data on top of where that file is so that whatever data is there is unrecognizable.
Oh, okay. So
So
people
so
have that
it's
on purpose to get rid of this deleted stuff.
right. And lawyers know what BleachBit is, what its purpose is. So um it's kind of like having lockpicks. Like
Okay.
everyone knows what a lockpick is there for. It's for subverting the intentional guard of having a lock. So it's actually a crime to have lockpicks without having been registered to having them.
It is.
Because it can be assumed that if you're not a locksmith, why do you have lockpicks? And
I didn't know that. Look at me.
yeah,
speaking from an IT perspective, what 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 is the worst piece, like the most damning piece of digital evidence that is like a smoking gun against her?
The most damning piece of evidence. Um, I think probably it's the Dr. Chan um, letter that she sent saying that she had an ovarectomy because she sent that to Mike with the intention of saying, well, we did this thing because of cancer and feel pity for me. But then we have further evidence and scans from whichever of the clinics that says, nope, you've got two proper right ovaries right there. And it's like, okay, well, why would you send someone something about something that my grandmother passed of ovarian cancer? Like, for her to try and claim that she had this to garner sympathy is vile.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everything she does is vile. But somebody said I look guilty. No, listen, so we have those we have the handles in our house and it's got the little hole in it, and if you go on Amazon, you can actually buy the like keys for it so you can unlock the lock from the other side. And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Ugh." I don't think these are the same things. So you sent me this Substack article. Do you want me to pull that up?
Yeah, that's the Substack that refers to the Padlet, and you can bring it up.
Okay.
It just goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the metadata.
Okay. So, this is from All the Best. Hospital Photos Revisited, a re-examination of her claims. So this was, wait, what is this one? This is, oh, just the Mike chapter. Okay.
Yeah.
Re-examine hospital photos. So on August 1st, the abortion claim. In August of 2016, Laura claimed that she was hospitalized for preparation ahead of what she said was an abortion scheduled for the following day. She texted a photo to Mike Maricini, reportedly to show that she was at the hospital for that particular procedure. And then images along with the full text message history
Yep.
were recovered during a forensic extraction of Mike's laptop in May of 2024, and the original metadata, including timestamps and file names, were preserved in its entirety. Below are the images. Okay, so when you're, I wish there was a way that I could like make this bigger, but when you're going,
Control scroll is how to make it bigger.
shut up, you just changed my life. Shut up. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself.
Don't do that.
Oh my God.
See, that's why you need the IT guy.
Brad,
'Cause I
I've
give
needed you my whole life. I'm so blind. Okay, so when you're this, I can't get over this. Are you kidding me? Anyways, all right. Good Lord. So when you're looking, okay, so somebody forensically downloads this, they hand it to you and they're like, hey, what do you make of this? What is it that you're looking at?
So, what this is this is a um so the tool that's used is called Celebrate. Celebrate is very known within the law enforcement community for being the de facto tool to do extractions on phones and other computers, and they produce a wide swath of tools to be able to do this work. So what you're seeing is a reconstruction of the message history from the table database that is stored within Mike's laptop,
Okay.
because that's all that a text message history is it's a database of everything, and it shows it's an iMessage. It was received on this date and time. You hit sender and participants. So um all of this was um it's like
You just changed my entire stream.
I'm glad I can make it better for you.
Just know you'll be receiving 37 text messages a day. Hey, what do I do with this?
I think I can handle 37 text messages. Anything above 50, then I start drawing the line. But so this is a reconstruction of what it would look like on someone's phone, and it makes it easier so that you can see what it is.
Okay.
There's really not a whole lot you're going to be looking for from this, because um, I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely positive. The phone doesn't keep the records of cell pings. I think, at least attached to the message itself. It may
Like where
have
they are in location.
right. I
Okay.
think that's in a separate database on the phone, but if it's stored at a particular time, you can then cross correlate when the message was received to what the phone was pinging at that particular time.
Okay.
But by default, that's not like linked together.
What do you know about Cellbrite? The first time I was really truly introduced to Cellbrite and like getting a better understanding of what it does and how it works was probably the Karen Reed trial.
Hmm.
And they so how does that work? I bring as a police officer, I bring
Hmm.
you a phone, right?
Yep.
And you plug it in?
Yeah. You plug it in, and then preferably, it's a lot easier to extract a phone if you know what the passcode is. So it would
Right.
say, "Do you know what the password code is?" And you'd say yes or no. If they don't know what it is, then it becomes more challenging because you're basically trying to break into a door. So
Right.
Cellbrite also has a long list of known exploits that they can do to try and get into a phone, and it becomes a cat and mouse game between the phone manufacturers and these companies who want to get into your phone because they introduce a feature to try and block Cellbrite from trying to get into their phones. But then Cellbrite finds a new way, or there's something that they didn't even think of is trying to do it.
Okay. And then they can extract just pages upon pages
Everything.
of
The
whatever it needs. Do you put in like when you're typing in what you're searching from Cellbrite, do you put in like
I've not
parameters?
used Cellbrite,
Okay.
so I'm not sure, but it would do the extraction, and then you can open the extraction in a different Cellbrite tool that would allow you to search and try and find what you're particularly looking for.
Okay. So we know that she has these text messages, and then we get to the pictures
Yep.
that she used, and this was the same batch. Now, the batch that we have right now doesn't have. Oh, it does. All right, wait, hold on. If I use control, oh shit! Look at me. Okay, so these are the pictures. This is the batch that she has at this particular hospital. Her hair is at the same place. She's got this like little tag right here,
Yep, the
right?
lot
And this
number
is
for the gown.
yeah, this is the picture
Yep,
that we're looking at. And then we go here, same essential hair,
yep,
everything's pretty much the same.
yep.
And then you go down here, what is it that we're like, okay, so we're all forensic investigators. What is it that we're looking for specifically in this? Is it the IMG to see if it's in the same batch?
IMG to know if it's in the same batch is one, but then you look at all of the different parameters on the right side. It's a JPEG file. It's the size is what it is. It says date modified. That's when we were looking at the file, which happened to be May 5th, 2024. The date taken, that's when the photo was actually taken. 8/1/2016 at 9:39 in the morning
Oh.
using her iPhone 6, and it was um, all of that stuff with the dimensions of 960 by 1280, which is probably the natural resolution for the frontward facing camera of an iPhone 6.
Holy shit. So how so we can't tell. Okay. So could a modification be a crop?
No, so the modification, that's us looking at it because Windows is a little funky about how it does it. When you open it, it claims that it's modified. So, or if you move it from one location to another, it could change the modified time. So that's not something for us to look at. What we care about is the date taken.
Right. But yeah, I'm just talking about and she had this date. So what is the most minor thing, right? I take this and then it modifies here. What is the most minor thing that could cause it to have a modified date?
Um, like I said, I'm not entirely sure, but um, I could open it and I could paint one particular pixel in the upper right corner. The picture would look virtually the same, except for this change in the one pixel, and then it would
Okay.
then be modified.
Okay. But in her brain, it changes the date, period, because you
Like,
wouldn't this is not what you're seeing on your phone. This is what you're seeing from an extraction, right?
well, no, this is me looking at it on my computer.
No, but I'm
This,
saying,
yeah,
like, is this information that I could get from a picture on my phone?
yes, but you as the owner of the picture are not going to see the modification time unless you move it to a computer, open it, look at it.
I see. But it would change the date for her of when it's taken.
Not when it's taken.
Well,
That
then how did she come up with the May date?
sh- no, this the March date that she had, she likely changed the photo that she has to say that it was in March.
Okay, because I'm looking here and it says that it was taken in 2016 and
Correct.
then it looks like it was modified in
No.
May of 2024.
Right. That's me. I'm the one who took this screenshot.
I see. I'm dumb. Brad, listen,
Yeah.
okay? I'm going to need you to just way down, way down. You think
Yeah.
the bar's up here? It's not. Way below where you
That's what I
think
was trying to say.
Okay.
Don't worry about the modified date because that's me. So
I see. I see. Okay. Hello. Got it. Okay. So the date and time are 8/1/2016. So that's the most important part is the original time.
yeah. And that time
Bacon.
might be slightly misleading because times on phones are generally saved in UTC time.
Okay.
So that might have been that particular time in UTC and it's reading that directly. But the actual time could have been what UTC minus 7 for Arizona at in August, which meant it would be like 3, 2 in the morning.
Okay.
So I'm not entirely clear on that yet, but there is no location in the metadata for this.
Okay. Yeah, mine doesn't have is that is that something that you turn on in the
Yeah,
phone?
you can turn it on whether or not to save location data into photos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have that. So then we have the TEDx talk, and she presented essentially the exact same photo
Right.
into the TED talk.
And for her, the biggest thing that you could see from one photo versus the other is the previous photo has a ton of like blushing and redness and her eyes are super puffy. So
Hmm.
we don't know, did she Photoshop it? Because like she's got what looks to be a black eye or a huge bag under her left eye.
Well, that could be mascara too. I mean that could be if she's crying and has mascara and is rubbing her face, that could cause that.
I mean the puffiness, not necessarily the color specifically.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because she's got a huge bag under that eye. Then there's
Well,
the
and also
large
if
bit
you
of
said this might
rosacea.
be yeah, but if this might be 3 a.m.,
Yeah, it could
and
be.
she's going in at that time,
But then if
you
you look at the photo underneath, her eyes are significantly bigger. Like you can see so much more of the whites in her eye in that photo versus the other one. So I don't know if that's her trying to force her eyes open because she's almost squinting in this
I
photo.
see. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, or maybe she had changed the camera angle so she's more up instead of down.
Angle is largely the same.
Okay.
I didn't notice a huge difference in angle because the where the line and shadow is of the blanket are almost the exact same
I see.
because
Okay.
the shape of the blanket would change if the perspective of where the camera is um would be different. Like the
Right.
shadows would be different
Right. And the hair is the same.
and the hair is virtually the same.
This seems like two just rapid photos
Right.
next to each other. Okay.
But the eyes is what gets me because one eye being significantly more closed than the other. That's why I'm led to believe that that photo that we're looking at is photoshopped in some way, or she ran it through a filter to try and make it look a little bit better.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. I wish I could put them up side by side, but you're right, because this seems natural face, like her natural, just how she idles. And then when you go back up to the top, you're right. It almost, somebody had said, it almost looks like she's intentionally, like, the one eye squint a little
Mhm.
bit. Huh.
Squinting
Um,
with one eye isn't necessarily the one thing, but it's a matter of trying to get your eyes to be open without, like, raising your brow. Now, we know that she's gotten Botox before, so it might just be the fact that she could do it with Botox and not have the wrinkles show up, on her forehead,
okay.
but, or in her eyebrows.
Okay.
So that might be another aspect of it.
All right. In June of 2024, a Medium article titled "Don't Tell Me I Wasn't Abused, You Weren't There." Laura claimed the photo used in the TEDx talk was taken on March 1st of 2017, more than 7 months after the abortion-related image. So this, I assume, is from her article,
Yes,
and then she is proving with the metadata in her phone that this
that's
is
on an
when it was taken.
iMac. So that window of info,
Oop.
that's from her iMac.
All right, let me go ahead and just zoom in here.
In the upper right corner there, there's also like a bring out button. So you could just nope to the right. That one.
This one?
Yeah.
What happens if oh shit. Now what?
Now you can zoom in on
Oh boy.
sometimes it'll work a little bit better than others, but
It looks like that's about all I can get.
yeah. Then close that. You were getting better views on the other one.
Okay.
On it.
So from here it says whoop.
But you can I can read it. It says
Yeah.
March 1st, 2017 at 9:39 a.m. And then it says it's from the front camera of your iPhone 6 at 960 at 1280, all virtually the same thing. But the thing is, you also get the image name, image 7537 underscore or dot JPEG.
So do you think that how do you think she altered this?
I know how I have a sneaking suspicion of how, and it's the same way um, that you would do it on a phone. Um, Apple gives you the ability to adjust the date and time of the photo. But as the article goes on to state, you look at the seconds. Once you modify the date and time, it drops the seconds to 00
Oh.
because it doesn't preserve that.
So if we go up here.
You're not going to see it there.
Oh yeah.
But
Okay. Oh, we don't have it from the other. Hold on, let me just pull up a picture here. Oh wait. Oh, that's that. Hold on.
yeah,
Okay, so if I pull up a photo from my phone right now, and I go into this, it is mine's just 9:30 a.m. I don't have any seconds, but I
it,
can adjust it. Why? Oh, original. Okay, June 19th, 2026, 9:30 and 38 a.m. So let's adjust it then and
yep.
just put 10:30 a.m. adjust and then go back into adjust. And you're right, 10:30 a.m. period. No
Mhm.
seconds. Why would you need to adjust? Why do we need that feature on an iPhone?
It's um so let's say I downloaded a photo that I had previously taken, and instead of it being at the latest in my library, I want it to be back where the original photo was taken because I deleted it for some reason and I downloaded it back off of Facebook. Then it allows me to be able to put it and associate it in that same time frame.
Okay, so you're essentially batching it yourself.
Yeah.
But it's still, so if you were to download it, it still does not take away that original time though.
Yeah, unless so here's the other thing. When you upload a photo to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they strip the metadata from the photo because they don't want people going and downloading it and then seeing all of your personal information.
Okay. So the metadata will include milliseconds, but the phone doesn't show those. When you change it, the phone defaults to 0.
Yep.
I hate that I have this much information in my brain. I feel like if somebody sends me a picture, I'm gonna be like, "This is bullshit." They're like, "No, I actually took it at 10 a.m. What the hell?"
Yeah.
Not that I would ever look at it.
So if you scroll down, that they go over that piece is
Right.
that once they changed the time, it then defaulted it, but to
Whoop,
um
whoop, whoop. Okay. There we go. To 9:39 a.m.
yep.
Well, here. Oh, but that's you. Damn it. All right, never mind. Um, let's see. To support her claim, Laura included a screenshot of the photos info screen from the Apple Photo app. However, it's important to understand that metadata shown in the Photos app, such as date and time, can be manually edited, which is what you just said.
Yep.
And then yeah, it takes it. But this May piece is you looking at it.
No, I think that's when they wrote the article and they were
Oh, just kind of
showing.
showing.
Yep.
Okay, I see. So and then comparing oh, there they are side by side. Look at
Yep.
that.
So noticeably blurrier. The contrast in the photo is or it's more saturated on the right side versus on
Yeah,
the
this
left.
also looks like it's been sharpened.
Yep.
Yeah, this looks like the original. And then this has, yeah, some sharpened or some contrast. The hair is the same. I mean, exactly the same.
Yeah.
I wonder, you know what I would love to do is take these and put them over each other.
I mean, you can. It's not going to show you a whole lot more, but like what I said when I said that you look at because the right one is oversaturated,
Mhm.
look at the giant crease line on the right side of the blanket as it's you
Here?
can see the shadow of it.
Yeah, the contrast has completely blown that out.
Yeah, you can't
And
see
you
any of
can't see any of these.
but you can still see the small pockets of darkness from the folds at the very top on
Yep.
the right side,
Yeah.
and then the very tiny bit of shadow on the underside of that curve right there.
Right. And it looks like, yeah, this was cropped in some way.
Yeah.
In this way and up this way, but not over here because we have to be able to make sure that we're showing this portion. But the hospital gown is the same. Here's 1, 2, 3 strands of hair, which is the
Mhm.
same here. Huh. Interesting. Brad, you're blowing my mind. So this is from Mike's computer, August 1st of 2016. And this is from her Medium article in June 21st of 2024.
Yep.
Huh. Check the tube also. The cuff looks like a different line. This?
Mm,
It just looks like maybe her
mm,
arm adjusted a little bit. This looks
yeah.
like it's in the same place, or like
Yeah.
this got moved over a little bit. The tube looks the same. This tube looks the same. This is in the same
It's
placement.
it's it's the same color of blue and light blue
Mhm.
for the line. She shifted her arm a little bit to try and get that perfect view, because the other thing that you can see under her neck, there's a large crease on the one on the right, but on the left side, it's more muted.
Here?
Yeah, so the one on the right,
Oh, yeah,
you
because of the saturate or because of the contrast. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said, I don't know if I can zoom in. Where is it? I don't know if I could zoom in that much. Um, yeah, I think that's all I'm able to do. But they said that the tags, the numbers are exactly the same.
They are.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And when viewed side by side, it's clear that the embedded camera data, such as device type, exposure settings, and resolution, match perfectly. This strongly supports that both photos were taken with the same device under identical conditions. So now we're going to look at essentially just everything of the camera, which is the f-stop, the aperture, the
Yep.
exposure, all of that. And that's going to show us all over here as well. So if we have ISO is 50. Yep, they match up. 31 millimeters. Right? Yep.
Yep.
31 here. Where is this? The exposure, 0 step. f-stop 2.2 and a 1/30. Yeah. Wow. So those are exactly the same.
Yeah. So it it's very difficult to try and say, well, he took that in 2024 and then just used the same camera to try and put it over. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. So, and here's what you were talking about. The most compelling evidence lies in the file names themselves. Laura's version is IMG 7537, and the image from Mike's computer is 7538. So it's only one off. So hers would have been taken first, and then this would have been the one that was sent, or the blurrier one, right? This would have been the one sent to Mike.
Yeah.
Huh. I am learning so much. Here's a short video showing the two images overlaid for visual comparison, the alignment of facial expression, hair placement. Oh, somebody already did it for me. See, I don't even need to do nothing. All right, so here's the video. Also, when you're doing stuff like this, do you yell enhance?
Enhance, enhance. Oh God,
Enhance.
I hate that.
Okay, so everything is this. Yeah, she may
Oh,
have adjusted a little bit.
we have breaking news.
Uh-oh, what?
Let me forward this to you, and you can pull that up.
All right. What is this?
So I was just provided this from someone in contact with the studio, and because in order to get the graphic for the image to pull over into the video, she had to provide them the file.
Okay.
And
Hold on. Hold on. I feel like we're about to uncover something amazing. Hold on. Okay, so then somebody sent this. Okay, so we'll get back to what we were doing. Where is this one? Wait. No, it's not that. Nope. Nope. Wait. What's happening? Why is this not working? Brad.
do
All
I
right,
need to?
share screen. It's not coming up on mine. Oh, wait, window. I'm dumb. Haha, just kidding. I'm no Brad. Okay.
So if you look at the file name, what's the thing that pops out to you immediately?
Shut up. Facetune? So this was the original that was and the Facetune would give her the contrast and the saturation and all of that, and she could go in and sharpen the eyes and make that
Make it do
more.
whatever she wanted. But yeah, Just Jen sent that over.
Shut up. Okay. Is there anything else? Creation date, June 19th,
No,
2026.
I wouldn't trust that.
Okay. So this is, well, that's now, right?
Yeah.
Because they sent it over
Yeah.
here.
But if you look at the file date name, it says August 2nd, 2021.
So she changed it again.
Yeah. When she before she sent it over to the studio to get it put in.
Dude. I need a drink. What? I love that it says this on there. Why are you? Oh my God. I hate you so much. Why are you like, and here's the thing, right? Like, this is one of the things that we talk about in our community a lot, right? Is she steals these stories of valor, right? And she takes all these stories from just people and women and all these terrible experiences that people have been through, and I have been in a relationship in domestic violence, okay?
Mhm.
I can't imagine sending a photo to somebody after the moment that I've been in that, fucking face tuning it.
Right.
Holy shit.
To then try and claim and get sympathy.
Oh my god. That's disgusting. Just Jen, you are a hero. Yeah, this is our Fiverr moment. Look at us. Yay! What's wrong? It's just a little minor perjury. No big deal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But the only other thing that you wouldn't be able to accurately tell about this is, did she modify it for the release of the TEDx video, or did she edit it um, in 2016 when she took the photo? So she might have the originals of 57 and 58, but then she took 58, face tuned it for the TEDx, and then that's when this it went up. Or she took the 57, face tuned it, and then
I know that she would never sit down with me and have a conversation. But that is one thing that I would ask her is, under what circumstance do you think that you need to face tune a picture of you when you're claiming domestic violence?
yeah. There's a lot of people who would love to have different conversations with her, and even Stephanie would say, um, she was asked, "Would you come on to do Love Trapped?" There, Dave Neal would say if she wanted to do a tell-all, he would most certainly host it. But it's just a matter of, she's had options to tell her story, but she didn't, except for the things that she wanted to try and better her position against her victims,
I
which is why
am I'm sorry. I'm just like flabbergasted and fucking pissed all at the same time. Have you sent this to Mike?
I've not.
No, not you, but or like Jen or anybody. I feel like, oh my god. Ugh. It's like every time I think I like dislike her, somebody's like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna make it worse
Here's
for you.
one more reason.
I didn't even catch that when you sent it to me. I'm like, okay, so here I am and I'm putting it up. And it wasn't until, yeah, you get in the file name. Although I do have to say that I love that these little apps or whatever, that they have is leaving this mark, because I
Yeah.
think that's incredibly
Useful
important.
and important.
Yeah, that's incredibly important, especially when you're trying to claim to have a DVRO case against somebody for 10 years and ruin their life. Yeah, somebody page Omar
Page Omar.
and send this to him immediately. Omar's like, damn it, she's back again. Oh, wow. So they got that from
From a
the
studio that
what an idiot. Laura filmed her TEDx talk on November 19th, 21, 23, and 27, 2021.
so that would have been the evening before the 23rd that she edited it, because it says 11, 22, 21 on there.
And what is this 825 over here?
Eight. I'm not entirely sure what that is specifically. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god. All the historic streams blending together.
Right. Um,
Holy shit, dude.
Facetune filing.
All right, let me pull back up what we were going. I don't even think it matters anymore.
Here's TikTok videos about how to change a Facetune file name. I don't want others to know I've edited the photo using an app. This is a personal, and my photo should not be for an ad for Facetune. I don't know. Well, you got to stop doing that.
Huh. Also, the other thing I saw, where was it, Jen? I think I saw it in the Discord. I did want to bring that up as well. I mean, I don't think I need an IT guy because when you put them next to each other, they're horrifically different. Where are the pictures of the napkin? Because I saw that. Did you see that in the Discord?
I saw that there's a they were floating around, but I wasn't looking too deep at them.
So there's a picture of the napkins, and then it's like one has the WoW logo on it and
Mhm.
it's written, and then the other one doesn't have um
Isn't that just front and back of the napkin?
but they're written. Oh, maybe. Yeah, you need to add this to the article for sure. Brad needs to talk to Facetune about how Facetune names their files.
Yeah. Or I could
Called
download Facetune and look at it myself, but I'm not that vested in it. So if anyone wants to do that, take a photo, Facetune it, send the picture to yourself and look at the file name and see what you can glean from it.
Thank you, Jen. All right, so let's put this up. Do you have a time you have to be out of here? Because I'll suck up all your time.
I don't at the moment, but
Okay. Just let me know if you have to leave. Or just like Ralph Wiggum out of here and just lay down and roll out. Okay, so here we have the napkins. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. It's the front and the back. Dear girlfriend, I don't know if I don't know if I've seen this yet. I know the Lord had me overhear your conversation to let you know you are a very beautiful young woman that should have a man that
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 make
makes you cry with wonderful laughter, not bullying. You are being verbally scratched out. Maybe she scratched it out, abused, and he will never love you like you deserve. I'm very concerned about you. And I'm praying for you. Run from him and get help and protection. He doesn't care what you think or say or do. He is a very sick man and will make you sick if you stay with him. Please take this to heart and get help fast. Karen at this email. So if she took these at the same time and place, why are they different colors?
yeah, they really shouldn't be the same. And the one thing that you can see is the outline of her hand as she's over the photo on the left side, but on the right side, all you see is the photo corner or the camera
Mm-hmm.
or the phone, the corner of the phone as it's shadowing over the napkin.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we're looking at the folds, I mean, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
can see it. It looks like the same here and here. Like
yeah
if you were to flip it over.
yeah because the downward fold on the left side would cause the increase fold on the right side.
Yeah. Do we have anything with her handwriting on it?
I There's people who have wanted to try and find to do a handwriting analysis, but I don't know how well you're going to be able to get it, and I haven't seen it. But the problem is, she said it was another woman who wrote it, so you can't take it from one side to the other to say, well, this one woman or a man wrote it, but then claimed it to be a woman because men and women tend to write strongly different styles.
Okay. Hmm. It does not match her handwriting, in my opinion. I haven't seen it, so I don't
I
know. Um, do you believe that napkin lady is real?
uh I don't know. I'm conflicted
Okay.
because on the one side you have the argument that if someone was causing so much commotion on a plane that the stewardesses would have tried to intervene in some way. You can't be verbally berating someone on an airplane and not have everyone know
Right.
because it's just impossible. There's too many people in a solid aluminum can that um, if you're screaming at virtually any level in hysteria, someone else has to be there. Like, and we believe she's real. Whether she wrote the note or not, we don't know. But
Okay, so I
there's
guess that's the question. She is a real person.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What other things have you looked at in this case that you think people have missed? Like, what are the other things that we should be looking at when we're looking at all aspects of this case?
I think we've done a really good job of trying to find all the different pieces. I don't think there's like one thing that I'm like sitting on my stoop saying, "You guys need to look at this." It's like
Okay.
everyone has seen literally everything,
Yeah, and
uh,
dissected it.
and dissected it. There's really nothing that hasn't been turned over that isn't in the public sphere. Now, I'm sure if there were if we were to get like the Cellbrite extraction of her phone, you could literally see people go dark for 2 months just trying to find things
Yeah.
in her phone, but we don't have that. We're never going to get that.
Hmm. What else do you have to add, Brad? I think I've asked you all my
Oh,
questions.
oh man, if that's it. I don't
What do you have for me? I don't know. We just blew our whole load with finding out there was Facetune on there. I don't know what else we're doing. That's it. I need a cigarette and a fucking a nap. I'm so blown away by this.
um
The fact that it's just so blaringly obvious.
yeah. But the thing is if you're to receive a photo in the line of media production, you're not going to know or care to look at the file name and see that it's Facetuned. It'd be like, okay, well, you know, any person doing anything could Facetune something because they don't want a photo to look bad in some particular light. So it's hmm.
I wish I could click on these. I want to see these. But I don't get why you would do this.
The
I
other
mean,
interesting
I get why you would do this because you're Laura Owens. That's why you would do
well,
this.
yes. But like the interesting thing is that the image size, it's heavily cropped, the size is significantly
Mm-hmm.
different, and the DPI is much lower. So 72 pixels of an inch is much lower than what its standard size is, and 353 by 381 is significantly smaller than the original 920 by 1280.
Okay. So that's also telling you that she cropped this in.
She cropped it, or like I don't know the model of Facetune, but it could be that Facetune will produce a small rendering of the photo, but you have to pay extra to get the full resolution one too.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull. Wait, did I close that window? I'm gonna pull up where we just had and see if we can do these side by side. Yeah, I mean, it's all when you look at it, it's all the same photo. The original one from Mike's computer, this one, and then hold on, let me show you my computer screen here. It's all, I mean, everything's the same. It's the exact same photo, which is so funny to me. Like I don't, and that's a thing that I struggle with her. I'm like, what is it? What is the long, like, you truly think that people just aren't going to look or see or
I think it's if I was a conniving person trying to institute a con, I'm not going to think about or know of all the different things that go on when you publish a photo. So the goal is what gets me the immediate effect that I want. And that to her, it's notoriety and sympathy. That's what she wants.
yeah.
So um, when you go, when you, when you look at what she's doing, she's not doing like your Hollywood style criminal things and trying to cover up her tracks to do everything. She's just worried about the next thing, whether it's the dopamine release or
Right, it's all
whatever it is.
instant.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too is one of the things that we talked about yesterday with Omar on the stream was pseudologia fantastica, right? And it's
Mhm.
a form of pathological lying where these people, when they get confronted, their go-to, instead of being like, oh shit, I'm caught, is more lies,
Right.
doubling down. And they cannot stop.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, you, as a person who doesn't struggle with that, right? You would think that somebody would bring this to you and be like, "Hey, man." And I mean, I would shrivel up and die if I
Mhm.
knew that my lies were so easily put together by a group of people and just be like, "Hey, I fucked up." Like, but she can't do it. And that's the more that I think, you know, that's why I think she's going to trial, because she continues to just like compound
Yeah.
lie after lie after lie.
And it's even funnier when you think about that because up until March or no, up until or no, it was March 1st. Up until March of 2024, there had been no claims of sexual assault in the paternity case. When she depoed, she said, well, he did these things that could be classified as um, rape, but I wouldn't accuse him of that.
Right.
And that's like, if you were going to do that, you would think that would come out in the very beginning. But now that she's getting caught in lies, and in addition to that, she also tried to extort him to say, "I will sue you for 100 or 1.8 million dollars or whatever the number was to not or to drop the case so that I don't have to go to this deposition." All she's doing is she's trying to get what she needs immediately.
Yeah.
And if she makes these statements, it all it's doing is trying to feed into that layering that you were mentioning.
Yeah, it's so hard for me to get into that mindset. I can't do it. I ugh, it bothers the shit out of me, Brad.
Yeah.
What was your in this whole case? Because you've been here pretty much since the beginning, right?
Not the beginning. So when Megan found out, it was basically when the paternity case was wrapping up in Laura's terms,
Okay.
was December, January timeframe when she said, "Hey, I'm no longer pregnant," and um, hopefully this gets swept under the rug. And Clayton's like, "Nope, we're going to keep going." And so that was when I came in. So you got to think, Dave started covering the case in September, and then October, November, uh, the end of October is when she was cross-examined by Deandra, and she said, I went to Dr. McCool and Dr. Higley the prior
Mhm.
week and all that stuff. She went to Mom Doc in November, and then silence until December. So then when we came in is when everything started building in the lead up to June 10th, because we thought February was going to be the big thing. It was going to be the big hearing. They go, no, we're going to get the big thing in June. And
Okay.
that's so then from February to June, it was near daily. Things were happening. The docket was updating. I had it bookmarked so that you could look at the docket every morning when I got up. Could be something new happening in that moment. And, we had Corey Keith drop out. We had Gingras come in. And then when Gingras comes in, bull in a china shop, literally even more filings every day because he's filing his notice of appearance. He's fighting a opposition to for Mike to testify as a
Right.
motion in limine.
Right.
He's filing all these documents. It was a serious marathon from January to June because there was just new things coming out. And then in May, we get Mike's laptop. And it was just like, holy cow,
I don't know
there's
how you
so
guys did
much.
it, because when she didn't take the plea deal at the deadline, it ruined my whole day. Like, up to the lead of those 4 days, I'm like,
Oh
"Here it
yeah.
comes, here it comes,"
It's
and then it
coming.
didn't come, and I'm like, "I'll burn my house to the ground." Like, I was so mad. It fucked my day up
Yeah.
so bad. So, like, the emotional roller coaster that you guys have been on, like, I'm glad I missed all of that.
Yeah. And then, once June 10th happens, it's like, okay, I wasn't able to go. I was going to run Megan's stream for her using whatever feed that we were going to get. But Megan was in the courtroom. And then at that time, in the month or two prior to that, I had started streaming on my own.
Mhm.
And then I was like, well, I'll stream and I'll restream your stream into mine so that, you know, it can get done. And she was like, don't even worry about it. We'll do whatever afterwards. And because Lauren was the pool feed for the trial.
Yeah, I got to figure this out, how I'm going to do this when she goes to trial, because part of me, I want to stream it, but also I want to talk to everybody. I say we just all do it together.
So in traditional LawTube capacity, it's likely going to be Law and Crime, or the local news is going to have it, and Law and Crime is going to get a sub feed from them. And then there's going to be 10 people lined up on the side of a stream because everyone wants to sit and talk and watch the live happenings of what this case is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I got to see it in real time. I got to see just all the ins and outs. I'm so invested. What obviously, so you get sucked into it, you start digging with the whole group.
Yeah.
At what moment are you like, "Oh, holy shit." Like, wait a second.
I mean, even in the beginning, when in January, when we're like, you know, what's going on here? And then the February trial, because in the back of your mind, for the longest time, it was like this self reflection of like, what if that 1%, what if she's actually telling the truth? And you're like, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm saying all this stuff, and it's like, God, I'm such an asshole if this proves to be wrong. And
Yeah.
for some reason, you know, we're going through this woman's history going back to San Francisco over 10 years. We're microanalyzing everything, and come to find out, oh, she's actually been the true victim for all of these times. And she managed to get a 1 in a billion aspect that every single significant relationship she has been to a domestic abuser, and she's been suffering at the hands of all of this stuff. And it's just like, no, there's no chance that this, especially once we've got Mike's laptop information and we're able to go through and find all of these things that she claims, and no, there's no way that this is true. There's no way this woman could claim to have 8 different types of abortions in 4 months. Like, it's just physically impossible for this to have occurred, and have an ovarectomy and then get a scan done in November of 2023 that says, nope, you've got both ovaries, everything's fine. So it's like, there's something that is just, it's so wild.
Yeah, I said that, I don't know if it was yesterday or maybe the other day, but I'm like, you guys, what if it turns out she goes to trial and all this shit is fucking true? Like, you know, like, I'm like, I would be eating some major fucking sorry.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of crow to be ate.
Right. Sorry. But also, because I think the thing is, like, especially when it does come to domestic violence, or it does come to, you know, infertility issues or losing children and women, you don't ever want to like shit on somebody. I actually had somebody in my DMs and they're like, hey, I have this story. I think somebody's faking a pregnancy. It's an influencer. Would you look at it? So I went over and I looked into some of the things, and I'm like, I can't. Yeah. Like, I don't ever need to be the person that uncovers something. Like, even if it is, I'll report on it later. But I'm like, I just can't with that.
Ugh. And you don't want to be the so the personality of you wants to be the first person to report things because it does good for your channel growth and all this
stuff.
But you don't want to be the first person to do it because you don't want to be the person that's like, I just spent untold number of hours looking into this to try and discover this, and then do I become a part of this narrative that we don't believe women and things like that.
Yeah. And I mean, there's people out there that are doing a ton of shitty things, but I don't ever want to report on the wrong thing either.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I don't ever want to do that. There's a lot of people that go out there and do that, and it's just, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Not to make it political, but there's been false reportings of a ton of things on multiple sides of the aisle. So it's not like it's a matter of, if you're doing something with the intention of being doing good, it's not a crime to try and report something, because you can look at all these things and you'd be like, well, I just had bad facts. I did my best to try and vet them as best I could, but there it just ended up being wrong.
Yeah. I do my best with information. Like I've been did you watch Maternal Instinct?
I did not.
Oh, dude. Dude, okay, that's your homework. I'm going to
See,
need you
but
to watch it.
that's the thing, is like this story fits so well in the crime drama aspect that, stay-at-home moms and the like are just addicted to these true crime podcasts. And
Mhm.
it's a world that I've never been in. I known it existed, but
Yeah.
it's just I haven't been really exposed to it.
Yeah, I think for me it's like it's the psychology of it. How do you get there? How do you do this? Like I can understand a passion killing,
Yeah.
right? Like somebody comes into your house, they're threatening your kids, kill them dead. Somebody
Yeah.
does something to your kids, kill them dead. Like that I get. But like my husband wants to divorce me or I want to divorce my husband because I met a man. Like I would never be like, "All
The
right,
late
first option,
this
murder."
the
Like
lady in Utah, like, I'm gonna poison my husband because I wanna get his inheritance, and I've met this other guy, and,
right.
like,
Because
it's
he doesn't
just
let me do what I wanna do. Corey Richin, she
yeah.
sucks.
But
Yeah.
it's just so funny because, like, going back to when this kind of all started, like, I followed Nick when Nick started covering the, gosh,
Oh, you told me that when we were
Rittenhouse.
DMing. Nick
Yeah,
Rekieta?
yeah, Rekieta.
Who is
When
he?
he's a big law tuber. A lot of people like to say that he's like the father of law tube, because he started. Um, he's got a sordid history as of recently, but when he started out, he was a lawyer who's like, I'd rather just stream and get way more followings and earn significantly more money than I would earn than being a small town lawyer in Minnesota. So that's what he did. He's like, I'd rather just talk, explain the law, because I'm a barred lawyer, and do cases. And because he doesn't want to deal with clients, he doesn't want to do all that stuff. It's in his mind, the money in and the love of what he's doing, being a streamer, talking about the law and how it intersects with culture, is much more interesting to him.
Oh,
And
Rekieta Law, I see it,
yeah,
okay.
Ricada Law is the YouTube channel. But
Yeah.
back then, he streamed the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and that became a huge thing. Then he streamed the Johnny Depp trial, also huge trial. He had 130,000 people watching his stream during Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I think was it Johnny Depp or Alec Murdaugh? I can't remember which one came first, but one of those was
Murdo was
when I
after Johnny Depp.
okay, so Johnny Depp was when I found for the
Mhm.
first time Emily D. Baker.
Yeah. But it was literally within that time span of all these lawyers who have firms doing their thing, and then just happen to like limelight or moonlight as commentators in law and crime-esque fashion on YouTube, because it really wasn't a thing to, law and crime published the feed, but there wasn't really analysis, talking points, breaking down each individual person as they come to the stand.
Yeah.
And that's really where it kind of started taking off.
Okay.
And like when I was with Megan, she was doing the Take Care of Maya trial, the girl who
Oh,
was
right.
medically kidnapped in Florida.
Okay.
So like that was when I was watching Megan, and her stream kept dying, and that's kind of how I met Megan. Was the IT guy was like, "Let me just fix your computer, because you're interrupting my viewing experience by having cruddy computer."
Right. You're like, "Jesus, my retinas."
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've never seen him before. So I didn't know who that was.
yes,
Um, interesting.
but yeah, he's a character in of his own, and I'm not going to go into the plus or minus on each side, but that's kind of the lineage of how following Nick had Megan on her on his stream a number
Okay.
of times. Then I followed Megan during that trial because I would work and have Megan stream on, and I've got a small TV up here that I can use both my monitors for work stuff and then just have something playing in the background. And then I inserted myself into Megan's stream. Then I unintentionally became like a guest on her stream,
Mhm.
and then she got into Laura Owens, and then Megan said, "Hey, you should try streaming on your own." And it's like, well, fuck, what am I going to stream? I'm just a nerd guy. Like,
No. So, okay, this is first of all, answer this question so I can yeet it off the stream. But in light of this case, how has it reshaped how you will raise your sons or son?
the so the morality aspect, I got into a heated argument, or well, I was on a stream with Ketchup Court, where there was this lady who was just would not stop talking about how Clayton was an F boy, and that it's his fault for inviting a woman over on a gummy to cause all of this other stuff. Like, this lady was insane.
I love victim blaming. I
Yeah.
love that.
She's also someone who believed that Karen Reed actually murdered John O'Keefe. So it was quite funny about that.
All right.
Yeah. So in raising my son, I really don't think that I would raise my son to be in the same shoes as that, because what I'm going to preach or teach my son is, and even when I was raised, my own mother, told me that I'm too nice for my own good. Like,
Mhm.
there's no way that I'm not going to try and pass my Midwest nice off to my son. Like, you treat women with respect, and you do whatever it is you can to try and be nice to other people, because that's, if it's, a lot of people talk about Southern hospitality and things of the like. Southern hospitality has nothing on Midwest nice. Like, it is a league of its own. And there's a reason we call it the Midwest goodbye, because you try and say that you're going to go by, and then an hour and a half later, you're still
Right.
standing in the front door talking to
Talking to
someone.
somebody? Yeah.
Like, it is just so wild that, and even to my wife, coming from Maryland, she loves Michigan. She hates the cold, absolutely detests the cold, but she loves the home and community that the Midwest brings. That's completely different from anywhere else.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I want to this would make me change. Well, my son, I don't think this will be a problem for me. My son is essentially nonverbal. He's emerging verbal.
Mhm.
He'll be 10 this year. So I'm not sure this is something for me. But if it was, um the one thing that I realized about this case is all three men just tried to essentially man up and do it on their own, and figure it out on their own. And I think had they called in, and gave more information to the women in their lives, especially women who have had children or have gone through these experiences, I think it would have changed things.
Mhm.
Um, how how does somebody protect themselves? So I'm sending you a bunch of emails, right? I'm
Mhm.
sending you a bunch of emails from doctors and so forth. How do I parse what is real and what isn't?
That's a very difficult question,
Okay.
because we, and I think it's an appeal to authority, in that we generally trust that when someone is doing something, that they're doing so in good faith. And when they send an email or a picture that purports to be from a doctor, you're not going to have the tools to be able to do it. And it's actually, I would argue, bad for society to go from a distrust everything that anyone sends you model, because you functionally can't have a society, and you don't have enough time in the day to be able to try and parse every little thing that anyone gives you, sends you, Yeah, Critical K, that was her name. Oh, that woman is wild. But
She's a YouTuber?
yeah, I believe so.
I'm about to look her up. Oh boy. Yeah, I just wonder if there's any way, like, if you were to send me a screenshot, well, now I know I can check that stuff.
Yeah.
If, like, the regular person doesn't know how to do it. Like, if I guess what I'm saying is if I, like, feel like I'm being lied to.
There are tools, like the tools that we used to quickly look up metadata. You can just look up metadata viewer.
Does she not have a channel anymore?
Mm,
No channel comes up. It's like videos about her.
She might have had to delete it because she had a $500,000 judgment about saying malicious and untrue statements. Yeah.
How does it feel to be living my nightmare? And that's why, like, I've told my husband, I'm like, I'm sort of waiting, especially with this case, because there's been so many cease and desists. I'm like, I'm sort of waiting for a cease and desist, but everything that I've taken has been online.
Right.
And it's from court documents, it's from the text messages, it's from all of those things. So I mean,
Mhm.
feel free, and it's my right to have an opinion on it, you know. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So like I said, it's really something that society, I can't remember who put it. Laws were put on the books to, and this is a really crass way of saying it. Laws were put on the books to try and appeal what societal norms are to the uninformed, or the um and what that kind of leads to is the idea that if everyone was an upstanding member of society and there wasn't laws to break, then you wouldn't need laws.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
laws are there to keep us in check, so we're not a bunch of assholes running around.
right. So, but the idea is that the laws are mostly written for the lowest common denominator so that they are able to be understood by everyone. That doesn't mean that laws aren't complex and whatnot, but you know, in theory, we shouldn't need a law to say that you don't need to kill someone, because if everyone's upstanding, you wouldn't have a need to kill someone. But then we understand that things happen
Right.
throughout
It's different.
life, that things happen,
Right.
and then we write a law that says, well, we don't need to kill people. It's like, but what if we are in a self-defense situation? Then
Right.
you have to
Well,
write an exception to the thing. So
yeah, and everything's very complex. I grew up Catholic,
mhm,
heavy Catholic, and it was like, "Oh, you're a murderer? That's it. Fine. Bye, prison." Like,
yeah.
or that's, debt, eye for an eye. And then I grew up and you're like, "Okay, manslaughter, first degree, second degree, capital." There's
Mhm.
so many different things, and it's like, yeah, each one of them needs their own little, like.
Fiefdom that is completely different and apart from each other one. But that
Mhm.
also doesn't stop prosecutors from throwing the literal book at everyone. So
Right. Right. Does Brad think that the increase in naysayers in the comments lately, how certain funds are being used up, might be bots organized somehow? Lauren had some questioning. Australia trip feels off to me. What?
yeah, I don't know about all that. Um, I would say that there's been significant rifts throughout the entire saga of Laura Owens, because there was a group of people at the beginning. Those people were then split off into a couple of different groups, and then there was some even more splitting going on because people were getting into different personalities. It all becomes this whole overarching thing. And from my get-go, I tried to take a wholly neutral aspect on most of it, because, you know, I'm just here to provide my knowledge and expertise in the case, and I really don't care about the back and forth of people dramaing between communities. It's that there's nothing worse. Like, my wife could be talking to her aunt and they could be going back and forth on something. It's like, that is the last thing that I want to listen to. And it's just, if those things, even through my family, bother me,
Yeah.
other people on the internet, I really don't want to listen to.
Well, I think the biggest part of it, right, is I had said something about somebody inside of the community, and I did not realize. I still stand by what I said because I was very passionate about it. I don't think, I don't think that we should ever dictate, what a victim is doing with their money. I'll
Yeah.
stand by that. I said that. I'm a fucking stranger on the internet. Mike Maricini doesn't owe me shit.
Mhm.
And if I choose to put my money there, then that's what I choose to do. I did not realize behind the scenes that there were a lot of
There was a thread there. You tugged
oh
on that thread, and
boy,
it
I
just
fucking I
goes.
came in like a wrecking ball. I just fucking, oh my god. And yeah, I blew the motherfucker off those doors. Which, you know what, whatever. It's all been brewing. I think the thing is though, you have some people behind the scenes that are working for a cause, right? You have people who are seeking justice, and then you have people who are seeking fame off of the back of justice and don't really care what the core issue is.
Yeah.
And the issue for me is I don't care about it. I have no skin in the game until somebody brings it to my doorstep. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say on the internet. But when you do things like that, and you start to make a mockery of something like this that has gone this far, it takes away from the severity of the case. And that's what bothers me, is when people want to uh tether themselves to something that's skyrocketing, and then they do it in an off-color way, or they do it in a way that is self-serving. It looks bad on the group as a whole, and that's what bothers me about it. But yeah, I did not realize. Hey, listen.
It happens.
Oh,
I remember the
whatever.
stream because it was like, oh. But
I do what I can.
there's a lot of people who were coalescing around the that particular individual being a negative impact on the greater cause of trying to ensure that justice is served.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but I think for the larger community, it will eventually end up in a better situation, but it might take some time and even more bumps to try before it gets there.
Yeah. I think it sucks. You could pick from a hat, and there are 1,000 things that you could say about Laura Owens, critically speaking.
Yeah.
And then there's some things that shouldn't be mentioned, and it's just when you have official your name on something and you're giving not law stuff, it's just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? And then Clayton came on and said something, and then it just went back and forth. I'm trying to convince Clayton to get a bowl cut and a mullet. That's my extent of talking to Clayton.
I don't know, because there was people who were like, I don't like the Gen Z perm that he got. And then
So I sent him a DM last night because, did you see his stories?
No, I didn't.
His story was about him getting a haircut. And I sent him a DM last night. I said, I love that you're the guy that's now becoming known for your hair. First the perm, then the blonde. Now everybody just be watching your hair. And he goes, I don't know how much else I can do though. My reign may be over. I said, I don't know. If you watch UFC, there's a fighter from Brazil who literally has a bowl cut on top and a mullet in the back. Honestly, I think it's your calling. Like, do it.
I mean, all it takes for me especially is 2 months and my hair starts growing into a rat's nest, and then it's like, no, I got to get it cut because it's unmanageable. It takes me, 2 minutes longer in the shower, and I can't have that. I got to go quick and I got to get it done. So, I just chop the hair off, and I've been used to the short haircuts the entire time.
Oh man. Oh, to be a man. I wish. I fucking wish. What do
Like
you do for a job?
so I do IT for a company. I don't want to go too specific into what
No,
I
no, no,
do,
no.
but I help manage the infrastructure for a company for a particular line of business. So I'm, managing the systems. I'm checking, making sure everything's working for all the people, so that we can go out and do the work that we do.
Okay. Cool. I like it. Well, I think I'm officially out of questions. What do you have for the group? Did you guys have any questions for Brad? It's so funny. You were like
Yeah.
a celebrity when I first started doing this, and you came into my stream one time. My whole chat was like, Brad. I'm like, who's Brad? Where is Brad?
It's funny because I only have like 600 followers on X, which is the only real platform that I'm on. Everything else,
I
I
better
have
follow you on Twitter. I
I've
think I
got
do.
I've got Facebook for boomer reasons. I've got Instagram for the only purpose of watching and viewing things. You will not see me post a story on Instagram,
Boom. Now you
but
have me as a follower on Twitter.
then
Bang.
I'll shit post on Twitter all day long. But lately it's going to be about AI stuff and computers because that's what I'm currently sucked into. But
Wait, that's what I was going to tell you. So this is what I was telling Tiff. Listen, in the law, the crime community, right?
mhm,
There are a lot of things that people don't understand, and we just listen to, and we listen to lawyers, right?
yep,
We listen to um, Emily D. Baker, or like you
mhm,
said, Nick Rekieta, or just all these people who are the lawyer aspect of it. But I was telling Tiff, I'm like, listen, if you can look at the money, because a lot of times it has the money or it's the digital evidence,
mhm,
that's what you need to start streaming
right,
is cases where they're covering like and so I'm rewatching the Alec Murdaugh case,
mhm,
and it was getting through some of the digital evidence, but like if you could break that down into simple terms so that people like myself can understand it instead of just listening to it and then a lawyer talk about like the law side of it. That's
mhm.
it, Brad. That's your calling.
You see it, and yeah,
You're like, no, no,
the
thanks.
no the funny thing is like I've always thought, I love computers. I love doing what I do, and I've since I've started following LawTube and LawTube adjacent content, it's like, man, could I try and get something into the legal profession that involves digital forensics or the like? Or like,
Hmm.
what would that look like? But the thing is like to be like the guy that we sent Mike's laptop to. Not only has he been doing it for 30 years or whatever it was, you know, you really have to start you it's not really something that you can start as I'm a 37-year-old guy and I'm already midway through my career, and all I really don't want to go into management and whatnot. I want to stay as technical as I can because that's what's
Hmm.
fun to me. And I would hate myself to go into management and whatnot because managing people is like the worst part of management to me. Like that is just not what I'm there for.
Yeah.
You tell me to go fix a server, you tell me to go deploy this or install that. I am 100% behind you because that's what's fun is, you know, picking my hands up and controlling the puppet of computers and making them bend to my will. Like that's fun.
That sounds evil.
Well,
It's like,
I in those sense it is, but it there's a phrase, computers are only as smart as the people who program them because
hmm.
computers by themselves don't know anything. They're only given instructions and they follow a set of instructions, and if something falters it's because you gave it the wrong thing. So at a very high level, any computer failure is a failure of the programmer who installed the code or whatnot. But
Yeah.
because modern computers rely on so many different layers of software that it's very difficult to try and kind of pinpoint what is causing a particular issue.
Yeah. But this is what I'm trying to understand, Parapet. What we need is someone who can explain it to us.
Right. And to an extent, I can be that, but I personally have not found, like, I don't have a pipeline of 100 cases that have really interesting digital evidence that would be able to go through. And like, because what was the what was the
All right. Well, just promise me this. All right. We get a trial. I'll live stream it. When it comes down to technical witnesses,
if you need a guy to break something down, you can have me on, and I will be more than happy to break it down.
I knew it.
That is see, that's the thing. It's like, I don't see myself as being able to run a channel off digital forensics of legal cases, but I would be more than happy. And that's why I said I'm not a host. I'm a much better guest, because I can fill in the blanks for a lot of people, and makes it much easier for people to try and understand different things.
Perfect. That's what I'm going to need, because we're going to listen to stuff and I'm going to be like, how did they get there? How did we do this? How do we know this? What does that mean? And that's where you come in.
But there's also things like false sense of security. Tiff, no, there's no false sense of security there. But like God,
we got Dr. Toga on retainer.
Dr. Toga. I haven't
the
heard
shoulder
of Dr.
of justice.
Toga before. Shoulder of justice. God, what was the name of that guy? I don't want to. I got to open this in a private window before it.
Does Brad think we're getting a trial?
I hope. Well, yes, I do think we're going to get a trial. I don't think that something is going to happen that they're going to come in at the last minute and be like, "Oh no, there's been a deal made." I really think.
I hope so.
I got to remember the name of this guy.
I want to see it. Is he a murderer?
Yes, he's a murderer.
Tell me more.
It was a case where it was in Minnesota or Wisconsin. Chandler Halderson. Nick covered him when his trial was going live, but this guy lived with his parents. Said
for the webcam girl?
Not for the webcam girl. He had a girlfriend.
Okay.
But he lived at his parents' house, and he was really kind of a douchebaggy kind of guy. He wasn't going anywhere with his life, and he was just basically online video gaming all day.
Was he supposed to go to college?
He like went to a community college for a little bit.
But he lied about like going to NASA or some shit like that?
Yeah.
And he had a brother. And he killed his parents.
Yes, he killed his parents.
And his brother had to call on him because he killed his parents. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm screaming at you.
No, you're good. But it was just like watching this case of this guy, and it's like the digital evidence was him and his girlfriend would Snapchat each other, and Snapchat had a feature where you could always look at wherever the other person was, and she found him in the middle of this remote area near a river. And it's like, but that's not like engaging technical evidence. That's just cell phone tower pings. Like,
Brad, you and I have a completely different brain, because this is not like this is not amazing to you. To me, it's like, oh shit! Like, as soon as you find them there, like, for us, this is huge.
Well, yes, in terms of relevance for the case, but I'm talking about like, it's not the case where we had to go try and figure out if someone was like smuggling money or extorting a company, and they had to go and try and reverse how they were able to break into a system and do all of these other things. Like, it's not technically adept things to try and parse through, but it is a part of like dumping his phone and the like.
Getting the tea, Brad. How do we get the tea?
Absolutely. We want the tea. The tea is good.
Right. And that's what we need you for, to figure out how we get all the digital tea. I think Laura's going to make herself ill before trial?
I think that's probably true, especially since he's tried it in California, but I think it's going to go over really badly.
I mean, they did the arraignment hearing for, what was her name? Lauren Clancy.
Mhm.
She was the one who killed her 3 children, and then she jumped out of the window and she got paralyzed, and they
Mhm.
were arraigning her ass in bed. They
Yeah,
put up a Zoom cam, they're like, "We do not care." Um, what is LISK?
I'm not familiar with Lisk.
Huh. Um, and can't trials go in your absence? That I don't know.
So yes, you technically don't have to be present for your trial. You have a right to be present for your trial, but you don't have an obligation to.
Mm,
As long as you've been offered the opportunity, you can do it. But so it kind of functions in the same way. So like you're given a public defender. Your public defender can defend you um in your absence if for whatever reason you didn't want to be. But if you're like in jail, they're the court's going to bring you in and you're going to sit your happy butt down. But if you're
why
like,
would you have a trial and not go?
um, I you can, but like there's a I don't want to say this, but wasn't there a day like Johnny wasn't in for his trial and they just went on without him?
Johnny
Or
Depp?
yeah,
Oh. Well, I get a day. Like, there's a
right,
day because there's something that's happening or whatever, and your
right,
lawyers will take it over, but to not go for the full trial.
right. Like it seems absurd to us, but from a criminal aspect, then the court's going to try and bring you in as much as possible,
Why
especially if
why
you've
would
been
you fake multiple twin pregnancies?
well, there that's a whole thing as
Right.
well. But like, um, so like if someone has a sneaking suspicion that they're going to be found guilty, well, no, they're generally brought in there. Like it, it's wild to think that they wouldn't, that someone wouldn't show up, but it's certainly possible that you could waive your right to have to be there
Okay.
because one of the things in the Constitution is that you have the right to face your accuser.
Right.
But if you decide to decline that right when it's been offered to you, you can certainly do that. But then it's certainly not going to end up well in your favor.
Some people are flee the country and are tried in absentia anyways. So if they're
Certainly.
ever found, they can be punished. Oh, you learn something new every day.
But like one of the things that's kind of interesting about this case is that Laura hasn't waived her right to speedy trial, which is one of the interesting things about her criminal case thus far. Arizona has this weird thing where you have to be tried within 9 months of the um, charges being put out for speedy trial reasons. And then complex case, once that gets approved for the charges, it then goes and extends it out like an additional 45 days or whatnot. But she hasn't waived her speedy trial. And in the complex case management conference, even her own attorneys have said that they don't believe that the current trial date is going to be reasonable for everything because the new lawyer wants to be able to go over all of the evidence and make sure he has enough time to do that and everything. But she's going to be in a her own problem that she's going to either if she's going to try and claim a medical incident, whatever the case may be, then they're the cases would be like, we've got a deadline, we've got to get this trial underway, and you're not going to be able to delay it for your own sake.
Right.
And because that's the other thing is it could come up on a deadline and then she fires her attorney and then has to get another one. And it's like, okay, you're every time a deadline is coming, you're firing your attorney and then getting the deadline pushed. We're not going to have that. It's going to have to come to an end at a certain point.
Mhm.
And then because who was the crazy lady in Florida that did that? she
Sarah
went
Boone.
Sarah Boone. Yeah,
Hmm.
she had like 8 different attorneys provided to her, and she's like, "All right, but you either get an attorney or you don't get one because you've been afforded 8 attorneys and you've had them all request dismissal.
Yeah.
So like, there's something going on here." And then she ended up getting the one private guy who did a halfway decent job of at least trying.
Yeah.
But like, um, she
Well,
went.
all
She
the
had,
private attorneys though, like, or I think all of hers were public defenders. I don't know, or where she got the
no,
money, but with
the one guy at the end was a private guy who volunteered his services to be able to try and defend her.
right. But what I'm saying is with Laura Owens, she has this what is it, Christian Luter?
Yeah,
She has him, and I mean he's a high priced lawyer.
high profile, high priced lawyer, and for some strange reason, she went from a previous private attorney, said, "I'm indigent, I have no money, got a public attorney," and the court agreed, said, "Yep, you've got no money, you've got no income, so we're going to give you a public defender." And then magically shows up and is like, "Oh no, I'm going to get a private attorney now,"
Yeah.
and the court doesn't care
Well, actually,
because
Omar explained some of that to me when we were talking. I said, why after the public defender and then now this private attorney? And he said, actually, some people will do that so that the public defender does most of the work so that you
oh,
don't have to pay the private attorney. And the private attorney can just swoop in and be like, hey, thanks for all that. I'm going to take over now.
that's pretty uh rude, but I
Yeah.
understand.
Right. I mean, and honestly, yeah, it sucks, but it's a smart move
Yeah.
if you're going to get somebody to come in and take it for you. Because I was like, why would she do that? And also, can she get in trouble for claiming that she was broke?
Mm, I think because on paper she truly is broke, that it become, she's able to get it. But it wouldn't be like Johnny Depp coming in and being like, "No, I'm actually broke," and like, you're Johnny Depp, the
Right.
multi Academy Award winning actor. There's no way that you're broke right now. Like, and so it's just a matter of like, the court doesn't care that she suddenly found money for a private attorney. The bankruptcy attorney and the trustee absolutely care that she claimed that she was broke and then suddenly gotten a private attorney.
Right. Which, and I've talked to Tiff and I've talked to, Omar, and I'm like, if it's not this that gets her, it's got to be something else. She's got too many buckets.
Yeah.
One of them's got to spill over.
You can't keep balancing plates trying to
Right.
keep everything afloat, in especially when you're lying through most of it, that it's just going to end up failing.
Right. Do you think Lowe can be detained on a health watch prior to the court date for her own protection?
Unlikely. They would have to be able to prove that she is at significant risk of harm to herself. And the sneaking thing about that is she's already been trying to claim that she's in poor health now and has lost a significant amount of weight. She can't get committed right now because she's still functionally able to live.
Well, I don't know if you saw that Medium blog either, but I read it. And at the very beginning, she's like, this is why or how JFC caused an eating disorder. And as I went through that, she says 84 pounds was the goal. And I'm like, two things can't be the same. You can't be this thin and have an eating disorder due to JFC if 84 pounds was always the goal. Like, that's, I mean, and she just, if you let her talk enough, she tells on herself. It's crazy.
But she also claimed that she was eating Domino's every day for like 90 days near the end of 2023. So, like, how in the world? There's people who have said, well, that might be how she generated the stomach enough to be able to even semi-prove that she was pregnant.
Right.
Was that she was just literally eating herself into a state of looking pregnant.
Right. Yeah, this is a good point. If she can go to Barry, she can go to trial.
Yeah.
If you can go work out. I'm just so, we're 7 days out. I'm so interested, man. I'm so interested. I want to know. And I swear to God, if they don't give me a plea or trial.
I think they're going to give us a trial. I don't think they're going to give us a plea. But they're certainly not going to
Oh,
leave
it's
us
exactly
hanging
7
in
days
the
from
same way.
today.
Yeah,
It's Friday of next week.
because the hearing is the 29th, I think.
Yeah, but the deadline is the 26th.
26th, yeah.
Oh man. I don't know.
But like I'm leaving on Sunday to go to Vegas for a work conference. So from Sunday till Friday, I'm going to be in vacation land doing everything. And if my phone starts blowing up, I'm gonna know what's gonna go on.
Yeah, I want a trial too. And also not because I want to hear her talk because I know she's going to tell her story and I know it's all bullshit. I want
If
to
she
see everything.
testifies.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they have to tell her story the way she would want it to be told, but I I just want to see it all. I want it
But
all laid out on the table, all the evidence.
but that's the thing. A defense attorney doesn't have to tell Laura's story. The defense attorney has to tell the story that refutes the evidence to produce a non-confidence in what's being charged.
Right, but do you think Laura's going to let a defense team spin a narrative that puts her in a bad light?
That where the show comes in, because it might end up becoming a feud of a defense attorney is going to say one thing or another, and then Laura might try to rein him back in and be like, "No, you can't say that." It's like,
Right?
but it's the truth. And
Well, and that's
that
the thing that we watched with Sarah Boone. I mean, it was sort of the thing that we watched with Alec Murdaugh, right? You're not
Mhm,
supposed to get up there. They got up there and they were like, no, I'm going to tell this as is, even though at some points it went against what their defense lawyer had said. And
mhm.
you're like, all right, we're just going to say this on the stand, I guess.
Yeah, if she does testify in the stand, that is going to be like the most watched thing for that day, is watching her testify. Everyone is going to be glued onto it, and it might feed into her ego and be like, "This is my chance for the spotlight, whatever it is, to tell my story." And if she's lying through the entire thing, it could be like a 4-day cross just in her alone.
Yeah, I think that she thinks that when she speaks, people will just believe her. Like they'll just it doesn't matter. That was my what the fuck moment was watching her in real time, well, on the stand on June 10th, the June
Mhm,
10th hearing. And I'm like, but the evidence is right here. Like, hello? Like, ah. And she's like, no, that never happened. I'm like, what is are we on the same planet? Like I didn't realize how deep she was in it, I guess.
mhm,
Because okay, so you're sending HCG numbers to some podcaster, right? You're some
mhm.
YouTuber or Dave Neal, and you're sending emails to Steve, and you're trying to, move the narrative in a way that you want. That's one thing. But to completely just shut out the evidence and lie under oath is the wildest thing to
Yeah,
me.
and I think that the only disservice that we got was that was a 2-hour hearing for what really could have been at least a full day.
Oh God.
And if that had been given that amount of air, I think it would have done even worse if she were to have gotten on the stand.
I don't know why they put I mean, I guess they have to put her on the stand, right? They have to bring up her points in the trial. I don't know.
Well, because she's the one attesting that she's pregnant,
Right.
and
Right.
then it was
She had to
she
prove her
had
point.
yeah.
She had the burden. Right. Ugh. This is gonna be the longest 7 days of my life, Brad. Hate
It's
it.
okay. We'll get through it.
I don't know. The last one, I was so up, it brought me
Oh,
down. You can see it because
I
it was live on stream.
yeah.
I was like, "We're gonna see," and everybody in the chat was like, "Oh, she doesn't know yet," and I'm like,
What do you mean I don't know?
"You're
You
like,
guys, chat. You're supposed to be the ones telling me.
right."
Come on.
Ugh. Anyways,
But yeah, but this is all the fun and games of watching trials and whatnot.
I know. I just don't think they should be able to be like delayed and delayed and delayed and all of that.
Yeah, and all it does is causes expense, especially, and that's what we see in Mike's case, is that infinite delays only just adds cost that someone isn't paying because they're pro se.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I guess they can't really say that though without evidence, right? They can't say unless she was really pregnant. They can't bring that in the court.
She was already adjudicated that she wasn't pregnant.
Yeah.
Like that's already done. That she can't just be like, well, now I'm still believing that. And it's like, no, we're gonna file a notice of a record for the court case. It's like, no, you've already been adjudicated this, and we're not gonna hear it. What she's being charged with is the amount of lies that she told on the stand to other people to facilitate, and this is where the schemes and artifices comes in.
Right.
The full crime of trying to extort Clayton and Greg out of relationships for her own personal gain.
Right. I always like in my little girl dreams, I would have grown up to be a prosecutor. And I always know how I could prosecute a case, especially, with the evidence that you have. Defense attorneys are so difficult for me to understand, mostly because if I knew that you were guilty, I don't know how I would be able to do that. Like, I just don't have the heart to do it. What would be your case if you were her defense team and you had to go to trial? I mean, obviously it's poking holes, but what do you think their case in chief would be?
I think to a large extent, you're already going to see that from the kind of things that Gingras has pointed out, and that's sort of kind of the benefit is that he was so public in trying to be her PR in addition to being a lawyer, because he's trying to craft these narratives, and you could see it as in our following of the case waxed and waned based on the things that he was saying to try and counter whatever statement he was making to try and give her a defense.
Okay.
Because like it was, she miscarried in November when she went to mom doc. And it's like, well, no, that couldn't be possible because you claimed that you were saw by Higley and McCool. And it's like, well, and you sent these HCG numbers in October. And it's like, well, no, actually what it was is she miscarried sometime in June. And it's like, well, no, because how would you know that it was boy and girl twins without an ultrasound telling you that this was happening and all this stuff? And it's like, there's so many, all of these things were being crafted in real time.
Yeah.
And then you got the vanishing twins and all this other stuff. The idea that, one of the twins died and the other one took over. I think Gingras will not likely be brought in to testify outside of it because it breaks confidentiality. But if it goes to the idea that he was participating within a criminal act, then they may be able to get it waived. But that's going to be on the prosecution side to try and break that burden, is to show that. Or they may even just try and give him a plea deal and be like, you're going to get immunity if you tell us everything that you know about Laura.
Yeah. Do you think he could have charges against him?
Well, he's already being charged by the bar for his conduct, but I don't think that he's going to specifically get charges, because outside of the June 10th hearing, which I think 4 of the individual charges are related to perjury that happened on the 10th. But a lot of the conduct was before his time, so he can't be held liable for conduct of Laura and other attorneys that Laura had gotten.
Yeah. What do you think her sentence would be? She's found guilty.
All right, so we go 14 charges, fully to trial. She's sentenced. She's guilty of all 14. The prosecution's already put in for the first set of trials that they're going for aggravated circumstances based on pattern of criminality, that this isn't just a one-time thing. I think she could reasonably get 15 to 20 years.
What? No way. I was like 3.
No, but here's the thing is you're going through 14 counts of perjury. And the only caveat to that is that would be, I guess, if they
I'm going to write this down
consecutively, not concurrently,
We're
because I
gonna
think
we're gonna do over unders.
they could easily do you're going to serve it concurrently and not consecutively, and that would bring it down to like 3 or 5 years.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask everybody in this community, and I'm gonna write down. So you say
Yeah.
15 to 20 years, and then I'm gonna keep this. I think so. Bacon thinks 3 years. I don't see it going more than
But
5.
here's the thing: if it that's assuming all 14 counts are guilty, because there's a lot of layers to that. Schemes and artifices is one of the bigger charges. Each individual count of perjury is only like 2 years. So you're really not going to be doing that. It's if each count is given consecutively, then you add the artifices and schemes charges onto that. Those are the larger ones, where you get their level 3 felonies versus like level 6 that the perjury is. So it's just the whole thing is you have to go through all of the individual charges and look at everything. Big Tip says 3 to 4 years prison with 6 years probation. I mean, that's a wholly reasonable thing. But if you're getting all 14 counts guilty, because it could be that she goes in and the jury is like, well, she's not guilty on this and this, but she's guilty on these. Like, it could be that they find that the schemes and artifices charge she's not guilty of because they didn't see it. But all of the perjury counts are like, yeah, she did. She obviously did it. So then it would bring it down a bit. And she goes, okay, well, you've got 10 or 12 counts of, or no, two counts of schemes and artifices and 12 counts of perjury, or was it 10? Whatever it was. But even if they knock down everything but the perjury counts, and it goes just the perjury ones, we'll say 10. If they go for all of the perjury counts and then they go, well, okay, then we're going to do, in that vein, we'll do like 6 years suspended sentence or something of the like. But the biggest thing is the fact that the schemes and artifices charge really hold the entire thing together, because if you prove the guilt of the schemes and artifices and show how she was going to get a benefit from these men who are going to be, high profile, especially through Clayton, Greg, I think locally, more so. I don't know what his stature in the community is, but even if it was just, he makes $300,000 and she was just going to be living a above middle class lifestyle in Arizona,
Right.
then that would be how she would have been trying to get that kind of status and stature. So it's just a matter. But I 100% believe that she needs jail time and some serious active therapy in order to try and to get this under control. But the thing is like, even court mandated therapy is not going to do well, because the other person has to be accepting and receiving of it
and honest.
Right.
Do you think she'll be mandated to take certain classes or attendance and programs such as therapy? I mean, they offer it there. I don't know if mandated. I don't know. I do think a long probation is definitely needed, because they would have to watch her after. I mean, that's like some Sherry Papini shit. She went in for, I think, 3 years and then came back out and was like, no, actually, this is what happened. And it's like, ugh, gross. But
yeah, so it's 5 perjury accounts, tampering with evidence, or no, wait, taking the identity of another. She got 2 of those, so it's like 6 or 8 perjury. But
yeah, and it's funny because Bruce says, it's very hard to predict what a jury will do, especially if there's multiple charges. I think that's the other thing that we need to remember, is the fact that everybody, when we watch the trial, when it happens, you have to wipe that slate clean. You cannot go in with the information that you have, because the jurors don't have it.
Well, sometimes the jurors do have it, but they sneakily hide the fact that they
Right.
don't
But you're
have it,
not
or they,
supposed to use it. You're
yeah,
supposed to base her verdict off of what was presented to you in
at trial.
court.
Yeah,
That's it. And that's hard.
it is.
That's hard, especially when you know so much about a case. I mean, and that's the other thing. These jurors may never know who Michael Maricini is.
Oh yeah,
And
they might.
I mean, in my opinion, he's like the biggest part of the whole case.
He's only the biggest in showing that he was the first big victim that didn't get something swept under the rug, because everyone believes that victim one managed to get some kind of settlement or something to get Laura to leave him alone and then never contact him again.
Yeah, I think the reason that I say Mike is the biggest piece is also because he's the longest standing.
Right.
Like, she's actively trying to go back for the DVROs and things like that, and continuing to, with the TED Talk and this narrative about how he's abused her, and just essentially continuing trying to destroy his life.
Yeah. And I
I
think
wonder
that,
why he was so much more important than the rest of them, and I wonder if it's because they had a relationship, right? He was kind
yeah,
to her, he showed love to her, and I wonder if that's why she has latched on to him worse than the other 2.
it might be just the fact that it's easier to pull the wool over guys who are nicer and aren't um, critically assuming bad intentions on her,
Okay.
because um, everyone who's met Mike, including myself, would know that Mike's a great guy. He's not someone who's going to fight in the way. And if it wasn't for the community helping him and a number of people talking to him behind the scenes to try and help reassure him that trying to fight this is the best thing to get him out from underneath of her grasp, that it, because, and in addition to the fact that Laura is using Mike as the pedestal since the TEDx talk,
Yes. Without
because,
Mike, her story crumbles.
yeah. So if this was, before 2021 and before she actually recorded that, I don't think it would have been that big of a deal. But now that she started a podcast with her mother, she got the TEDx thing, she got her spiel in Chicken Soup for the Soul, she started building this platform,
Yeah.
and the community is destroying it brick by brick as they
Mhm.
investigate and find new things that was being done.
Well, and I think Mike was the first and the last piece. If he
Mhm.
comes down, that's it. It's over.
He's the cornerstone.
Yeah. Yeah. I think having no priors is definitely in her benefit. I think that's
Yeah, it
something they'll
absolutely
argue.
is.
Yeah, but I think that's such a bullshit argument. I hate that because there's a lot of people who've never had a criminal record and do heinous shit.
Yeah, and it's it Rachel Warres has brought this up, that the absence of the DVRO being violated in California is evidence that the DVRO is doing the
Right.
work.
I saw that.
So it's, you can't just get it wiped because he hasn't violated it, because it just means, well, for the time he hasn't violated it, but it doesn't prevent possible future violations. So that's why it becomes a much harder burden to try and get it reversed.
Well, when I was reading her motion to get it expedited for whatever the judgment, I was like, it's been dismissed for 8 months. It's been off of Mike, and he still has avoided her like the plague. So
Right.
hopefully that tells the court also he doesn't need this piece of paper to stay away from her. He wants nothing to do with her.
It's a lot easier when you're a couple hundred miles away too. It's
Right.
not like he's showing up in Arizona, like knocking on her door, like, Laura, are you still in there? It's like, it's not happening, because he's got a life, he's got a beautiful wife and kids, and he
Hmm.
wants to maintain that.
Yeah. I don't know. What is vexatious litigant?
Vexatious litigants. Basically, a vexatious litigant, and Megan's actually dealing with a vexatious litigant right now. It's the idea that someone can pepper the court with a bunch of stupid filings that
Megan is?
Yeah.
Did she
Megan,
tell you about me?
no.
I'll tell you about me later.
Okay, yeah. Tell me about me later. But no, Megan is dealing with this lady down in Florida who is a former attorney, and she keeps saying that she's going to sue literally everyone, and she puts in a lawsuit, then retracts it, and it's literally
we're not talking about the same person then.
No.
Somebody emailed me trying to get me to do a story and named her in it. And I texted her one morning. I'm like, hey, do you know this? And she was like, I got like 16 audio messages. She was like, Jesus, God. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, I won't do that. So that's okay.
Yeah. So like, Bruce Madskin is a different lawyer from the Hales ecosystem. And
that's the one.
Yeah. So, so he's his own different issue, but Legally Lips is the name of this other lady, but
okay.
She would just file things incessantly with the court, and it's like, no, what vexatious litigant status does is it basically says you cannot file something with the court any longer without a court approval to justify that what you're filing is in true good faith.
This is about the Hales case?
It's tangential to the Hales case.
Okay. Yeah, I got an email, and it was like, just this long dissertation. He really buttered me up in the beginning. I was hopeful.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, I was really hopeful.
Because the thing about Bruce was that he went to Megan, he went to Larry Foreman in Kentucky. He went to literally everyone trying to discuss everything in the case, and then was like,
ew.
Yeah, stage your email, burn everything.
Yeah, it was so funny because she got named, and the way she got named, it didn't sit right with me because you could tell that he was like speaking against her, and I'm like, hey, Megs. And she's like, ah!
This guy has been nothing but a pain in my side.
Dude, I should play you the audio. It's so funny. I'm like, bitch, I haven't even had my coffee yet. Like,
yeah. So that's a whole different ball of wax for him.
Oh my God.
But Megan is in active litigation against this Leslie Federigos lady in trying to get her labeled vexatious litigant because she's just completely out there.
Ugh, I don't want to be in any of this with any of these people.
Yeah, dude.
I just want to sit on my side of the internet, talk my shit, go to bed.
I feel you.
That's about it. All right, man. I gotta go get my kids. You have been wonderful. The fact that we got breaking news on the stream
is wild.
tickles my heart. Honestly, I'm gonna have to change the thumbnail to us just being like, "Holy shit!" Yeah,
I do have a picture of me in my shocked face.
Yeah, somewhere. Do that, and then we'll do. I'll make a new thumbnail, and it'll be like, "What should I?"
I'll breaking news.
Right, like, oh my God.
You'll never know what happened or who face-tuned their picture for a certain publication.
Auntie M, thank you for your membership. Okay, just joined. I missed the tea. Berkeley, go back and watch it. You guys, it'll be great.
From the beginning, we need those watch hours.
Yeah, get them. Get them. We're going to start. Bruce is going to be the biggest YouTuber in 2027. I'm going to make it happen. Or fuck, I did.
You pulled it, Omar. How dare you? Oh my God. I need to get off the stream. I can't.
I was reading the chat. My brain slipped. No. Thanks, Brad and Bacon. Who's Brad? Brad? All right. Anyways, bye, everyone.
Yep.
Look at he's now now he's gonna kill me because
Bruce ain't gonna kill you. I'm the
no,
one who's
you. Now you're gonna kill me. Maybe I
in
don't want to have
Minecraft.
that Midwestern
in
meetup.
Minecraft.
Justice for Brad. Goodbye, everyone.